All right, folks, I'm back. I'm live. Oh, snap. I'm here. And we're about to try this again, man. Why not? I still want to talk about this. I'm starting to hear more and more sirens, more and more things going on, man. Shout out to all of y'all out there. I know everybody's anxiety got to be going through the roof right now because mine is. Yeah, my anxiety is going through the roof. I don't really know how to compartmentalize what we've seen over the past week. I don't know whether to be, sad, whether to be angry, whether to be in an uproar. I don't really know how to feel about it. And as you can hear behind me, because I live, not too far away from where the protests are currently happening in Los Angeles, this is not a game, and this is real life happening. Um, Rest in peace to George Floyd. Obviously, all of these protests are warranted. That man was murdered. I don't personally believe that the cop should have been charged with third-degree manslaughter or third-degree murder and manslaughter. I think he should have been charged with first-degree murder for regardless. There was clear intent behind that. And I just didn't, that's one of the most disgusting, and I've said it before, it's one of the most disgusting things I've ever seen in my life. And these are the people that have been hired and put in charge to protect us. And it's unfortunate that the way that, the America is set up, that, that's not the world that we're currently living in. And, I'm seeing people riot in all different kind of places. Well, not necessarily seeing people riot. I'm seeing some riot. I'm seeing a lot more people actually protesting. And I love that. I think that that is a valuable thing. I think that, utilizing your right to protest is a valuable thing. And I think that everybody that's out there protesting right now is doing something valuable. I don't think that anybody out there that's protesting right now is a thug. I don't believe that anyone out there that's protesting right now deserves to be shot. I don't believe that anybody that's looting currently deserves to be shot. I don't think that anybody that's protesting deserves to be ridiculed or any of that. I think that we're dealing with extenuating circumstances in regards to, I think that, I personally didn't know that there has still been protests going on, going on all around the world, going on in other parts of the world. And because I didn't know that specifically, I didn't understand, how bad the world climate as a whole is. And shout out to you, LC Smalls. He says so much for social distancing. And I'm about to bring, Pavy in a second on Real Talk with TPJ. I'm here. And obviously, I'm watching CNN in the background. I got Twitter on in the background. Number one, I'm going to talk to Pavy about what he thinks about, Donald Trump's thug comment. And then we're also going to talk about, what's going on, with all the protests and what we think. If you like to call into this show or you like to dial in to this show, feel free to send me an @ on Twitter. And as long as you're following us on Hoops and Brews, you will be able to get access, and I will be able to DM you a link. I want to hear from the people and hear what the people have to say. I spent pretty much all of last night watching Unicorn Riot, which is a Twitter news organization. They were live streaming the entire riot and every single aspect of it in full HD, talking with members of the community, and we really got to see how frustrated those members of that community were. So I now bring into the show Pavy. Pavy, go ahead, tilt your camera down before you come into the show, but let's go ahead, let's talk. Let's get it. So, Vaughn has commented, he said, time to uprise, kneeling, yelling, signs, peacefulness, not stopping shit. Voting ain't either. I disagree with voting ain't stopping shit. Voting is definitely stopping stuff. You can definitely help your community by voting. I think that what we saw from America was that by them voting in Donald Trump, they showed us exactly what they wanted. America showed us who it was that they wanted to be in charge. So I think a lot of these riots, what you see is a lot of the younger generation clashing with a lot of the ideals of the older generation. And I think that what I see a lot, including even watching whether it be video on the internet or CNN or MSNBC or any of these news outlets, is I'm seeing people of all shapes and walks of life I'm not just seeing African Americans, black people out there protesting. I'm seeing all people, have confrontations with the cops. So this is just bigger than just African Americans are clashing with the police officers. These police officers are beating the hell out of a lot of these protesters as well. Pavy, welcome to the show. What do you think?
Um, you're right. I also think that this is a byproduct of everybody having time. Like a lot of people don't have jobs. A lot of people have been laid off work. People
A
been
lot
in
of
the
unemployed
house.
people.
A lot of like unemployed people. So people have time to be outraged. A lot of these protests are going on when people, would usually be at work. So maybe they can't attend. Maybe they think, well, we got things to lose. I don't want to get fired from my job if I go there. Well, you don't have no job, so you got the time to go out and express yourself. Um, and yeah, I mean, I do think that part is dope to see though. The fact that you see so many, it's a black issue, but really it's an American issue. And it's dope to see that it's being treated like a American issue and not just an issue for one part of the culture. Anything that affects anybody in America is an American issue and not just something that affects that segment of the population.
Now I'm gonna say something that might be controversial, but honestly, this is the first time I feel like white people are acting like as if they saw a dog get murdered. Because I see white Americans activate around animals a lot of times, and they've activated around us a lot. But the level of outrage and sheer disgust at what was happening, including with the situation with Amy Cooper, in which she was, obviously what she was doing towards that black man was vile, but also the other part that got white America's attention was the fact that she was abusing that animal. You know what I mean? And it's unfortunate that part of the outrage comes from her abusing that animal, but I feel like the level of disgust that we feel and that from seeing what we saw, I don't we can't go back to things being normal, and I don't think things will ever go back to being normal. I think not only with this being in the middle of a pandemic, they're spraying tear gas, people are inhaling that, COVID-19 is going rampant. Like this is bad. It's really bad.
I don't want to say it's the first time white people have again, I just think it's time. Like they have the time to do it. Like they lost jobs too. So it's like whereas they might have, at first, well, I really want to be there, but I'm at work. Like I don't think they care about, you know, our our problems more than like their life and more than like feeding their family and they like livelihood. Like they miss work, they might get fired. Again, like everybody has time to sit up and be outraged about things because a lot of the world is stopped in many aspects. The world is stopped. So they just have the time. I don't want to say this is the first time that they've cared. I just think it's the first time that they have the time and that a lot of people have the time to show how much they care.
I have a lot of friends that are white, that are conservative, that are from middle America, that are from down south. And usually when these racial issues happen, I never hear from them. I never see them post anything. Even if I see them in person, it might be a little bit of rhetoric that we might discuss, but usually they shy away from those conversations. I think this George Floyd incident and murder has is something that's so egregious. I don't think anyone can with a good conscience
That too.
look at what they've seen and not have a visceral reaction in terms of you murdered that man. And even in terms of the coroner coming out, with the with the coroner report, and claiming that he did not die from being, choked, that he, died from his other physical ailments. It's the same thing. It's smelly. They said he resisted arrest. If you watch the closed circuit TV, he's not resisting arrest. They got the cuffs so tight around his wrist. Literally, he's just like, "Hey, can you loosen the cuffs?" He's literally like holding his arms like the cuffs tight, and they dragging him. They take the man across the street. It doesn't make sense. It really doesn't make sense. So I hope everybody out there is being safe. I know Minnesota has enacted a curfew, and the National Guard is out there. But it's just pretty wild to just kind of see what it is. And as LC Small says, there's no debating what we saw. There's absolutely no debating at all what we saw on that video. And I just think that I don't know. I mean, I get emotional about it sometimes. I get angry about it a lot. Yeah, I mean, I don't. At this point, I really don't know how to feel. And as I'm watching these protesters, I'm not upset with anybody. I'm not mad at anybody. I think that everyone has their right to feel angry. I'm upset. I'm angry. I feel let down by the system. I think that all of this is egregious. I think that from the top down, I think from the president down, that what we're looking at is not what we claim we stand for. And if it is, then it's not the right thing. But I don't believe that this is what we stand for, because I know plenty of good people. I know a lot of good people. I know a lot of terrible people too. But racism within itself is something that has permeated and existed from the moment we first stepped on this land and started taking this land from the people that natively lived here, which is why they're called Native Americans. And I think when you look at a city like like Minneapolis, this essentially hit kind of a tipping point, because this officer had reportedly shot and killed other individuals, was a part of other dirty crimes and other things where he had, where his character had been called into question. And when you allow people like that to continue to run rampant and be power hungry, what else do you expect? I mean, even, I think the policing, and I spoke on this on Twitter earlier, I think the policing industry as a whole needs to reevaluate.
I like
things.
that. I really,
they
I
really
actually
need to
like that.
they really need to reevaluate things. I think the policing industry as a whole needs to completely overhaul the ideology of what policing is, because it's not what it was originally intended for. It's no longer that purpose. No, it no longer serves that purpose anymore. There are no more slaves. Nobody is a slave anymore, or at least that's what we told. So if that's what it is, then they need to change the ideology of what the police force is. And I spoke with my mother about this, and she had a different, opinion than me, because I said to her, well, in America, for the most part, our protests don't get as violent as they do in other countries, where the police are being murdered and there are dozens of people being murdered in the middle of streets. Like, they don't get that violent anymore. But with knowing that, I'm talking to my mother, and I said, I don't understand, why is it that when these cops show up to these protests, why they all show up with mace, pepper spray, flashbangs, smoke grenades, batons, shields, and bulletproof vests on? By your sheer presence, you're already within itself sparking something that is gonna bring anger out of people, because you look like you geared up for war. If all of this is about generating a conversation and generating the conversation that will spark and lead to change and lead to things that will actually be changed, the police showing up being armed with tanks and all this stuff don't make sense anyway, because we as Americans don't tend to get violent in protests. And usually, more times than not, when people do get violent in protests, it's usually the white Americans. It was the white American that ran over all those people at the protest. What was it, in Charlottesville, when they killed those innocent bystanders? So it's not as if we as African Americans are running wild doing protests and rioting and murdering people. So my thing is, the whole system, all of it needs to change. I saw the commissioner in Atlanta. She, I think there was a police officer being unruly, and she went and pulled him off the line, and she was talking to people and just saying, look, we're not your enemy, and that kind of thing. It's like, yeah, she had the right approach. I didn't see her with any guns, any pepper spray, any shields, anything. She had sunglasses on, and she was talking to people. If the point of this is to really build a dialogue and garner change, you can't do that by gearing up for war and thinking that the people that you're telling that oppose or that want change are already upset, and you gearing up for war. You already sparking them to want to already instantaneously be on edge, as opposed to creating an environment where dialogue can be created. And I think we've tried for so long to have so much dialogue. I think what you see a lot tonight is a lot of people's frustrations finally boiling over from not being able to have a genuine dialogue and be heard. What are your thoughts on it, Pavy?
I don't know about, as far as the riot gear and stuff, I do feel your point. I also think that in certain situations, it's depending on, when the I don't know when exactly they showed up in riot gear in Minneapolis. I don't know if they showed up off top in, riot gear. So I can't really.
Off top. Literally off top, they were firing flash bangs and grenades and smoke grenades, and they were firing rubber bullets with shrapnel and rubber in them at people.
Yeah, that escalates the situation, and that's a little bit unnecessary. And I'm with you. I just think that the police force, as a whole, does need reform. Like, I mean, people don't really realize that it kind of started to bring slaves back. It's kind of like how the police force started. And you're right. We don't have slaves anymore, so you need to completely reform it. I think a lot of things that we live, the ways that we live in America, need to be completely reformed. I think we live under a lot of things that were created 80 years ago, 70 years ago, 90 years ago, and in 2020 we just live in a different way. Um,
Yeah,
so I think a lot of things need to be reformed. And with the police, one of the main issues to me is I mean, and somebody even tweeted to you, I think we need, obviously I don't think black people grow up want to be policemen. I don't think, because we view the police using like a negative light, but I really think we need more of our own police in our own communities. Obviously that won't solve every single issue. Clearly it won't solve every single issue because it's deeper than that. Racism is a huge issue. Prejudice is a huge issue, and obviously you can't change people's hearts. Like that's something that only they can do. Only they can change their heart. But um, I would love to see more people that look like us in our communities, instead of, people who live outside the community, have no experience with the community, and
yeah,
only listen to what they told about the community. Then they
yeah,
take their training and
yep,
take it to the 1,000 power, because they go to the community and they're already scared. It's like if you take me to Mexico and you make me a police officer and you drop me off right in cartel land. All I know about cartel land is like everything that I've been told about cartel land. So if I go into cartel land, I'm already on high alert because I fundamentally don't know what's going on. I barely speak the language. Well, I don't speak the language. In this situation, the language that people use in black America and white America speaks a different language. So when they get there, they don't know the language. They don't know what's going on, and a lot of them is them reacting off fear. And again, I remember I even saw a video on Twitter. Like, yeah, cops have a very dangerous job. Like, yes, that's commendable. You have a very dangerous job, but you pick that job. So that being said, it's up to you to be brave. And I think a lot of these cops do things and they're not being brave. They do things out of fear. But I think one way to combat that is have more of us that look like us in our communities. Like, again, I've dealt with the police. I've been arrested. Now, granted, it wasn't for a violent offense. I didn't do jail time. Like, I was out within like 6 hours, but I've been arrested. There's definitely a difference as a black man from when, you see a black cop and then when you see a white cop. It's just if you see the police, you're already on high edge, right? Okay, cool.
mm-hmm.
But then you see some black cops hop out. One of your thoughts is like, oh shit, he might be cool.
Yeah,
That's one thought that you're like, oh shit, he might be cool. At least that thought pops in your head. As opposed to if I see 4 white cops hop out, I'm already on high alert. They probably on high alert, and then the dialogue doesn't even probably maybe even get to the point where it needs to get to. So again, I think that we need more people that look like us policing our communities. I can't understand why 4 white cops ever need to get dispatched to anything in the black community. That doesn't make sense to me. I'm sorry, it just doesn't make sense to me. And I'm with you. I think that a lot of systems in America that we live under need reform, because I think a lot of them were created in a different time and we don't live in that time anymore.
yeah, I agree. I think that even just looking at America as a whole, it's time for some real um, it's time for some real change. It's time. I think it's no longer time for the bullshit.
And real quick, if I,
Yeah,
if I,
go
if I
ahead.
can
Go
say one
ahead. Yeah,
thing,
yeah. No.
um,
Continue talking. You can talk as
one
long as you
thing
want to.
that one thing that Donald Trump has done is he has pulled the curtain back. I think that under Obama, um, because we had somebody that looked like us in office, um, we even when things were going on, we still kind of thought everything was sweet because we had someone that looked like us in office. Obama could do no wrong to many, black people, and I'm not even saying he did everything perfect, because I don't think he did everything perfect. I don't think he did everything wrong either. But I think just Obama being in office was enough for black people. It was like a win for everybody, no matter what he
Yeah.
did off top. It was a win. The thing that Trump did is, okay, Trump, the thing about Trump is he's honest. He says a lot of dumb shit and ignorant shit, but he says what he feels, and that's what middle America and that's what quote unquote they like. So I think that he's pulled the like cloak back off of racism, and now you can see it and look at it and reveal it for it being what it is. Again, under Obama, him being enough was just him being there was enough for black people. We ain't got to make no progress. We don't need no laws. We got a black president. We are happy. But like, that's not enough, bro. It's like, what happens 20 years later when he not there? And then you spent this whole time period really making no actual progress. The only progress you made was that you had a black president, and the fact that he gave you hope, which is huge. Hope is a huge thing. Hope is one of the best things that you can give somebody. But you actually need
cool. I like change though.
Exactly. Like, you need actual change and actual laws and things like that. Like, we could have had an investigation of the police department under that whole regime. It was like a damn thing it was literally a streak in which like every single month somebody got killed by the police for like a year. It was a big one for like a year. We could have had some type of investigation. We could have took some of those courses. Now, granted, I'm not super well versed in it. I don't know how it all works. But another thing Trump does is he shows you can do a lot. Trump does something I did not know was legal.
Yeah.
Or at least tries to do something that I didn't know was legal. So from now on, I can't really even accept no president telling me what they can't do, because you can at least try.
Yeah. He's always trying to do something.
He always tries.
Yeah.
He always tried. The one thing you can never say about Trump is he don't try. He always tries. Now, you may not like what he tried to do, because I don't like a lot of what he tried to do. But you will never say he don't try. He always tries. So again, the thing that I can say that hopefully can save us in the future is that he pulled the veil off, and everybody has to look at it for what it is and realize that we got a little bit more privileges. Obviously, they don't have colored only bathrooms anymore. We not in chains, but it's not all good out here for us either. And I think that under Obama, again, because we had somebody who was in office that looked like us, a lot of us really thought that it was all good, like we had arrived, and like, nah, we really haven't arrived.
We haven't arrived anywhere. Yeah, I agree. What are your thoughts in regards to only the officer being charged and not the rest of the officers being charged? Only the one officer, the Chauvin officer, versus the rest of the officers who were also detaining George Floyd at that point in time.
Here's the thing about that. I mean, obviously, number one, I want to say the 3rd-degree murder charge. I mean, obviously, I think that anytime you kneel on someone's neck for 7 minutes, that's like legit murder. But the thing about the justice system is not, you don't charge people on what they did. You charge people on what you can prove that they did.
I mean, come on.
But listen, you charge people on what they prove they did. I don't know if you can prove 2nd-degree murder under the standards of what the police department is right now, and under their rules and what they're regulated to do. I don't know if right now you can prove 2nd-degree murder. I think 3rd-degree murder is a more provable thing, even though, again, I want to be very, very clear. Whatever sentence he gets, because it's 3rd-degree murder, and I know it's a manslaughter charge that's also attached to it. I think 3rd-degree murder, the maximum is 25 years. I think manslaughter, the maximum is 10. So basically, if you get convicted on everything, it's 35 years. I don't think 35 years, is that. I don't think that fits the crime.
I think life in prison. I think life in prison fits the crime.
Yeah, I think
that was a murder in cold blood.
Yes,
it was a murder in cold blood.
Yes,
it's an insult. And guess what? If he don't get all of them years, this is just the beginning of this.
Yes, but listen. Again, the thing about the justice system is they gotta
fix it.
The thing about the justice system in general and in America is you don't get charged based off of what you did. You get charged based off of what people can prove that you did, and that's with anything. So I think that for judging by the situation, I think the charge is appropriate. And my thing is, like, let's just get somebody convicted, because again, the main convicted with actual jail time, not just you do 3 years and you come home. Again, I want to be very, very clear. Whatever time he gets will not fit his actions.
Not fit the crime at all.
Will not fit the crime. But we at least need to get to the point where, okay, this man got 15 years. So then the next police officer who goes in the thing and he thinks about getting a little bit reckless knows in the back of his mind, if I do this, I might get 15 years. Do I want to spend the next 15 years of my life in prison? 1 day in prison is too much. I've been in the precinct. That was enough for me to know I don't never need to go to jail. 1 day in jail 1 day in jail is entirely too much. So we need to at least get to the point in America on a consistent basis in which, now granted, obviously is you're not gonna leap from step A to Z in 1 day. That's unfortunate, but let's be realistic. Unless we need mass changes, mass reformation of a lot of things, a lot of systems in America. But we need to get to the point at least where we set a precedent where when police do something that's wrong, they get carried away and they murder somebody, they get charged as murderers, not as manslaughter. As murderers, they get charged as murderers and they get sent to jail and actually do actual jail time. So my thing is, granted, again, very clear, no, it does not fit the crime. The time he received will not fit the crime. But for the situation and for what they can prove, third-degree murder was probably the best thing. You're not going to get him on first-degree murder because police shit, whatever. They could say, oh, well, it wasn't premeditated because things escalated here. He didn't leave the house thinking, I'm going to go kill this man today. You're not going to get him on first-degree murder. Second-degree murder, maybe, but it would be really harder. Third-degree murder, I think there is I think third-degree murder, not granted.
It's such bullshit. It's bullshit.
I hear you, and I don't disagree with you. But again, we have to realize the way the system works. Again, we need actual reform of the system. But for what this instance, third-degree murder is probably the most convictable charge for him. But as far as the rest of the cops, I mean, they were there. I mean, I think they at least got to be accomplices to something. They should receive some type of charges because they did nothing to stop it. Will that happen? I don't know. I have zero idea. But my thing is, we just need to, again, get to the point when police officers who do wrong go to jail. If it's for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, I promise you, don't nobody want to do a week in jail. Jail ain't nothing nowhere. Jail ain't nowhere you want to be. Don't nobody want to do it.
I've never been to jail.
I've been behind a precinct for 4-5 hours. The precinct, not even jail. The precinct. I can promise you, jail is not nowhere nobody want to be for even 24 hours. So doing 10 to 15 years, even though it does not fit the crime. I want to be very clear. It does not fit the crime. But doing 10 to 15 years in prison is not nothing to laugh at. That's a long time. So again, we need to get to the point where actual policemen who murder people go to jail and do actual time. So again, in the field, when you out there, you acting the way you act, it will be in the back of your mind that, oh shit, I may go to jail for this. And I think that would change a lot, at least mentally, for people.
Yeah, I agree. I think that I'm hoping that it does. I just think that looking at all of this stuff, it's pretty wow. Look, I mean, man, this is. I'm just looking at all of this video from all these reporters. As you can see, I'm sharing my Twitter screen right now. This is. It looks like something out of a movie or a music video.
The one thing I will say,
the craziest part is that we're on the West Coast, so I don't even necessarily know. Man, it's just beginning. It's still daylight out here.
The one thing I will say is that I'm happy that no guns have been used yet on either side.
Yeah. Well, no, that's a lie. That's a lie. 7 people were shot last night by police officers in Kentucky.
Well, I'm happy today. I'm happy that today we have not seen any guns be used today with these protests and the things that's been going on. Yes, I saw that thing that happened in Louisville. Sorry, yes, there were 7 people shot last night in Louisville. But I'm happy that on a wide scale scheme of things, that was just one isolated incident. And it's not like Minneapolis had mad gunfire. New York has had mad gunfire today. Atlanta has had mad gunfire today. At least we haven't seen a situation like that. And hopefully we don't see a situation like that. I mean, you even see a situation with the police getting jumped. He didn't shoot the people.
Yeah.
He did not shoot the people. They put their actual hands on him, especially after the like Donald Trump tweeted last night. He tried to come back and clean it up yesterday, today, but still everybody saw what you tweeted. So I'm just happy no actual gunfire has been had, at least today, and on a wide scale basis.
We're gonna talk about that Donald Trump tweet in a second after you finish with this, because I want to really dive into that. Okay. Well, I want to dive into that Donald Trump tweet. What are your thoughts about it? What are your thoughts? Basically, he's what did he say? When the looting starts, the shooting starts.
Yeah, he tried to say
it says these thugs are dishonoring the memory of George Floyd, and I won't let it happen. Hold on one second. Let me hold on. Let me see. I'm trying to find it so that I can put it up on the screen because it's been blocked by Twitter. Which people hate on that for Twitter, but I don't upset. I'm not upset with it. So hold on, let me say. So Donald Trump said that these thugs are dishonoring the memory of George Floyd, and I won't let that happen. Just spoke to Governor Tim Walz, and I told him that the military is with him all the way. Any difficulty, we will assume control. But when the looting starts, the shooting starts. Thank you. Now, that doesn't sound very presidential to me. He also did not take any questions today in his press conference, and he announced that the United States is canceling our relationship with the World Health Order due to how they handle the coronavirus and their relationship with China. What are your thoughts on the Donald Trump tweet? Basically, I mean, we all know what he was, what he was trying to say. But honestly, we know what he was trying to say. So I'm not even gonna try to read into it because I've been seeing all these different celebrities and try to read. I'm not trying to read into it. We know what he was trying to say. So
Well,
go ahead, Pavy. Talk about
the
it.
phrase "when the looting starts, the shooting starts." I think if I'm not mistaken, you guys go look it up yourself. But it stems from the 1967 Miami riots. I think the mayor has said when the looting starts, the shooting starts. That's where the phrase stems from. Knowing that that's where the phrase stems. But again, Donald Trump has a history, a literal history of saying irresponsible things. That is a very irresponsible thing to say because when you say that, it sounds like it reads to me as in you're giving people the jurisdiction to shoot people.
As in you're giving your white
You're
supremacists,
giving,
your
yeah, yeah. You're
neo-Nazis
giving, yeah,
permission to go out and shoot people.
to go out there and literally shoot people. Like now, is that what you meant by the tweet? I'm not that man. I don't know what that man meant by the tweet. He tried to go back and clean it up today. Okay, whatever. But again, when you put that out there, that's what it sounds like. You're giving people, more so even civilians, even in the policemen, but like civilians, the freedom to go out there and do like they're somehow protected under some invisible cloth that's okay to do. But again, Donald Trump has a history since he's become president of saying very irresponsible things. I think that for him, I think that for politics in general, Twitter, I tweeted this last night. Twitter is one of the worst things that ever happened to politics. I don't think that this is something that no other president wouldn't have. I don't think that.
I don't know about that.
I don't think that this
I
is
don't know
something
about
that.
I disagree with that. I think that's
Go
like
ahead, that's
saying
fine.
guns. I think I disagree with that, and I'm not gonna be hoops and brews argumentative. I'm gonna just make a point, and you can disagree with it or agree with it, and whoever can disagree with it or agree with it. I think that that's like saying guns kill people, or like guns are the worst thing to ever be created.
Gift and a curse.
I
Guns are a gift and a curse.
I think it depends on the user.
Gift and a curse.
It's a tool. It's a tool.
The tools can be a gift and a curse.
It's a tool.
You can use tools for evil and you can use tools for bad. It's a gift and a curse. Twitter has been a great thing because again, people get to express things freely. Twitter also is a bad thing because again, people get to express things freely. Before, you had to actually have statements typed up by people who write statements, get it into the newspaper and get it to the people. Now you can just roll out of bed, tweet something, not be fact checked, and he tweets things like he isn't who he is. If he was still Donald Trump.
You want to see the craziest part? The craziest part about the whole tweet is it says tweeted from Twitter from iPhone.
Exactly.
The man
you
just
can
literally in
his office on his chair,
picked up his phone. Let me get a hot take off. No.
Picked up his phone and tweeted like he tweeted a basketball opinion. Again, like the thing about him is he consistently, and the thing that disappoints me most above all about him is that he is not diplomatic with anything he says ever. Even when he was like, oh, the hypochloric thing, the like drug. Why would you get up there in a press conference when you know people got coronavirus and say, oh, hydrochlorine can help, and it ain't even medically tested yet? You know somebody somewhere gonna get up there and use it. You can't do that. You can't. If you were Donald Trump, the apprentice person still, you could do that because your words don't hold the same amount of weight. But when you say things as the president, people take it as law and people take it as fact.
And it's just saying the police have begun to tear gas the protesters in downtown Dallas. It's unfortunate.
So
as you can see through this Twitter live stream.
Insane. So yeah. That's my take on it. I just think that again, Donald Trump has a history of being irresponsible.
Yeah, I think he does, and I think that his supporters are very irresponsible as well. And yeah, man, these videos, it's just it's pretty insane to just see all of the stuff that's going on. All I can do is just say pray for everybody. The LAPD right now is currently seen. Man, this is just, yeah, it's just pretty insane everything that's going on right now. Looking at all of this, Glasses Malone is going to call in a little bit later, probably in about 10-20 minutes. Go ahead, feel free, comment your thoughts below. We want to hear from you guys. I see some people commenting in Korean. I do not speak Korean, but I'm gonna, yeah, so I can't even put it on the thing because I don't speak Korean, so I don't know what you're saying. Somebody says, what do people get by looting? This isn't about George Floyd, and these people aren't protesters. They are thugs rioting, destroying people's property. I disagree with that. I'm not gonna call anybody a thug. Nobody's a thug. What does the terminology thug mean? Tell me what the terminology thug means, because you know who's a thug to me? Donald Trump is a thug. He is a thug. He utilizes and wields his power for the benefit of himself. What is the definition of a thug? Actually, let's look that up. Let's look that up. Definition
Thug
of,
definition is a violent person, especially a criminal.
okay, okay, okay.
Historical, a member of a religious organization of robbers and assassins in India, devotees of the goddess Kali. The thugs wayland and strangled their victims, usually travelers, in a ritual prescribed manner. They were suppressed by the British in the
Really?
1830s.
Really? So these people are violent people that are criminals. I don't see any of these people harming themselves. I don't see them harming other protesters. I don't even see them harming police. I have not seen one protester actually where you were talking about, yo, somebody got really, really hurt, one of the police. I ain't even seen the police get harmed like that. So shut the hell up. Get out of here. Get out of here. And everybody's saying these looters don't care about Floyd. It's not. I think that what you all fail to realize that it's bigger than George Floyd. It's about a systemic issue that has continued to permeate the American culture since the day we got off that slave ship. And the police were a force that was established to find and detain and bring back slaves. So I don't want to hear any of this, because as I spoke about it and I said earlier, the ideology of the police force is the same as it was when they were capturing slaves. So therefore, I don't care about what the ideology of it is. It needs to change. Every single American industry in America has changed. It has grown, it has evolved, including media, to the point where me and Pavy can be sitting in the comfort of our own homes, have people call in when they want to, talk to us, take television, phone calls, screen capture stuff, and broadcast it over the internet. Media has changed. The auto industry has changed. Sports has changed. Technology has changed. Journalism has changed. Media has changed. Technology has changed. Transportation has changed. Infrastructure has changed. Sewage has changed. Why is it that the police industry can only change and evolve as it pertains to going out and building more technology to detain and abuse people? Seriously. And get whoever out here that's being responsible. Ain't nobody said go kill no cops and none of that. And by the way, I'm banning you to get out of here, because I don't believe all cops are evil, because I actually don't believe that at all, because we have friends that we know that are police officers. We got a homie that we know that's a police officer. We have someone that we have worked with before that is a police officer.
I think we need more black police officers.
Yeah. We need way more black police officers.
We need more black police officers.
Yeah, so the ideology that people hate police is wrong. It's misguided. It's not. The ideologies behind policing is what's wrong, not the police themselves. The whole system has been broken, and it's a continuous revolving door of the same system. You have to change the ideologies of this system in order to change the system, because the only thing that you're going to continue to get from this is just more and more racism, and all it's going to do is beget more and more racism. That's really what it boils down to.
As far as looting goes, I don't think it's fair to say that everybody out there doesn't care about George Floyd's memory, because you don't know what's in their hearts. I'm not going to say everybody there does care about George Floyd's memory. Some people just want to run in Target and grab 7 TVs. Other people are doing it because that's their expression and the way that they know to, you know, get things out. Again, like you burn the precinct down. Like I understand why you would burn the precinct down. The precinct is a symbol of what you're angry with. You're angry with the police. I understand why you burn the precinct down. So I'm not gonna say that everybody out there doesn't care. I'm also not gonna I'm not gonna be naive. I saw people running in Sephora. Like I don't think Sephora is like strategically has anything to do with anything going on. The Target, they said the Target was refusing, you know, milk to the people who were getting tear gas. Okay, well that strategically makes sense. But then you got somebody running up in there grabbing 7 TVs. I'm not gonna say that his heart solely was on what was happening. He might just want to grab some TVs. But regardless, I don't think any of that, whether they are or they aren't, isn't relevant.
Someone commented, the idea of protest is disruption and to gain attention. Why should the protesters care about businesses that do not care about the black community?
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, I mean, like, again, like, but I think either way, it's irrelevant. I think what the reason they're doing it is because people are frustrated, people are tired, and they got time. I think, again, like I said in the beginning, I think in like a lot of situations, people don't have the time to be outraged enough because there's so many other things going on and they got things to lose. I think that for the first time since maybe the 60s, a lot of people don't have stuff to lose. They ain't got jobs no way.
Yeah, no.
A lot of people ain't got jobs. A lot of people feel like they done damn near hit rock bottom anyway. You know what I'm saying? The stimulus checks probably running out. They probably like, we ain't got shit to lose anyway.
Look, I know with my rent and my living expenses, if I was just planning to live off of that stimulus check, I would be toast right now. Period. Because it lasted for all of about a half of a month. And that's what you give people to last them. When did the NBA shut down? March 17th?
March 17th, yeah.
That's been almost, well, on my birthday, I believe it'll be 3 months. That's not enough. It's not enough. Restaurants, businesses close down. Everyday people, everyday humans go to these businesses. And obviously, I believe that the shutdown of everything, keeping everybody safe and away from getting each other sick is valuable. Until we have a cure for COVID-19, we are in trouble. As a people, we have to police ourselves and keep away in a proper distance away from those that might potentially fall ill, those that are older, and those in general that in terms of just crowding in large groups. I think that there are a lot of people that I know that believe that they might have at one point in time actually had the coronavirus. And if you pay attention to the medical reports, it says that it's been around since around January. And it's been overseas really since around November. So that means that there's likely that some of us have come in contact with it. We don't know exactly how we can affect another human being. So I do believe that the restrictions in place are something that's good. But I also believe that America itself chooses to bail out large corporations rather than to bail out the people. And what you saw was a $2 trillion thing. And I think 500 million of it went to the people, or 500 billion or whatever it was went to the people, and the rest went to bailing corporations out. So I think that what you see is a lot of anger and angst amongst everybody. I think that a lot of the stuff that's going on right now is insane. I don't think that anybody should be looting. I don't think that anybody should be destroying businesses, but I also can't tell people how to feel about this stuff. And Nelson is going to join. Nelson, what's up? This is your first time. You're welcome. You're live with Real Talk with TPJ. We're here. And I will say this. I am trying to keep the conversation civilized amongst everybody. I know that there are people in the comments, and I keep blocking this guy. He's not civilized. But I'm trying to have a civilized discourse amongst all of us in regards to what's going on in the world. Nelson, welcome to the show. Talk to the people. Let them know who you are and where they can find you at if you want to do that. Can you hear him, Pavy?
I cannot hear you, bro.
Nelson, I think you're muted. Yeah, I can't hear you. Sorry. But looking at all of this stuff, in this day and age, I think that murder, especially murder at the hands of police, is inexcusable. I think that the murder of an unarmed civilian at the hands of police is something that's excusable. And look, I was telling my girl, I was like, yo, I got to go live. And she's like, you got to go live? And I'm like, yeah, we do the show Shooting Shots. And I'm like, yo, I got to change the name of that, because what's going on? I can't even in good conscience, you know what I mean, say anything about no shooting shots or any of that stuff like that. So that's why I, decided to switch the name and name it, Real Talk with TPJ, just because of everything that's going on in the climate. So I'm gonna bring Nelson back in. Nelson, are you there? I still can't hear you, bro.
Can't hear you, bro.
Yeah, sorry.
You gotta go to your cam and you gotta go to your cam.
You gotta go to your
mic settings, bro.
Yeah, you gotta go to your camera and your mic settings and change it. And once you do it, give me the thumbs up. But as you can hear in the background, or you might not be able to hear, their police sirens going off. As I said, I live near downtown Los Angeles where the protests are, so you can hear the cop cars everywhere. Abdul Rahim said, people are frustrated when you haven't gotten justice and you see your people getting killed. You get sick and tired of rest in power. George Floyd, America stands with you. I can agree with you. People are tired of seeing their people getting killed. And and this is the thing, their people just doesn't mean black people. All people are getting murdered by the police. We are getting disproportionately murdered by the police. We are getting disproportionately murdered by the police, but everybody is getting murdered by the police. So this is an American issue. It is a overwhelming, and it's been exacerbated in the black community because we are specifically the main targets, but it's an American problem. There are hundreds of people dying every year that's on report due to police injustice. We don't even know the ones that haven't been reported.
Also, I guess Minneapolis has had a history of this in recent years.
Yes, a vast history of it.
Yeah, with a couple cases like this in recent years. So
I can't remember the name of the individual.
Falon Castro.
Yes, Falon Castro.
That was
he was murdered in Minnesota.
Yeah,
it's time to change.
So they've had a history of this. So I mean, and that don't really
Philando Castillo, that's his name.
Philando Castillo. And those are just murders. That don't even account the daily interaction that you have with the police. Just because somebody don't get murdered don't mean they had a positive interaction with the police either. It's a lot of other interactions you can have that's not gonna get filmed. So we don't all know what was going on in that police department. I think there should be a federal investigation into that police department.
Yes, I agree. I think everyone in that entire police department needs to be fired. They don't need any of their pension. They don't need any of their pension, and they all need to be fired. I'm serious.
I think.
Well, okay. Look. I'm fine with any police officer that doesn't have anything negative on their record. But if you have any negative point on your record as it pertains to excessive force, you got to go. You have to remake the ideology of the police force in order to allow them to better serve the community. If the ideology of those that have been abusers, and you essentially give them a slap on the hand and say, well, you know what? We know you abuse the community. You put people in harm's way. But what we're going to do is we're going to give you a slap on the hand. You can keep your pension and you can come back and you got to take some training courses. That doesn't mean that the ideologies of the department are going to change. That's not going to change and shape and mold that. What's going to mold that is you get rid of all of those people that have perpetrated as being police officers and have really been thugs and really been criminals and really been guys that have been committing crimes and murders. Because even if you argue with me, oh, well, whatever, it's a few spoiled, rotten apples, I'm not rocking with that. I'm not rocking with that. And this guy, Hassan Campbell, I tried to block this guy a million times. Can't block this guy. But he's an asshole, and he's a piece of shit. And if you see him in these goddamn comments, to hell with that guy. Period. But
and what does that do about the feelings we literally dread being stopped? I mean, nothing. We're still gonna dread being stopped, but nothing. We're still gonna dread being stopped. But it's about that next thought. I don't think anybody really wants to get stopped by the police. That's a minority in general. Like, I don't.
Nelson, are you there? Can we hear you now?
I'm good now. Y'all hear me?
All right. Yeah, man. What was you connected to the Bluetooth in the kitchen?
No, you know what happened? I clicked the link through Twitter, and I thought I clicked it to go to Safari, and it didn't. I don't know what happened, but
it's all good,
now.
Bro.
I'm
welcome. You're on Real Talk with TPJ. I'm here. I'm joined by Pavy. We're talking, and we're reacting live to the George Floyd protests. There are protests currently in front of the White House right now. There are protests in downtown Los Angeles, protests in Dallas, in Houston, in Denver,
Brooklyn.
in Louisville, Kentucky, in Brooklyn, New York, in Atlanta, Georgia, which has been really bad. And we see all shapes, walks of life, out here protesting, speaking up for this injustice. Go ahead, Nelson. Talk. What are your reactions to, number one, these protests, but also to the video of George Floyd being murdered by the police officer, Darren Chauvin? What are your thoughts?
I'm going to be honest with you. The George Floyd video, I can't watch it because I've seen the Eric Garner one, and I'm in New York. I literally am no more than a 10-minute drive from where Eric Garner was killed. I know exactly what that thing is. I work, you know, I'm still an essential worker, so I'm an essential worker, so I'm still working outside. I drive by that every day. So I've seen the protests, I've driven by them, I've seen it all. Like I can't watch that video, and it's just crazy how you put a guy subdued, face down, and you have your knees on this man's neck for 9 minutes, and you have to put a knee to his neck and act like nothing's going on. The guy's pleading for help, and the guy's subdued. It's not like the guy's running away from you. The man is face down on the floor, and you just let him die, and it's like nothing happened. And I don't blame anybody who's out there on the front lines protesting, whether it's here, literally half hour away from me in Brooklyn, in Houston, Minneapolis, anywhere. I don't blame these people. You have to understand also, like, these are people who have been in their house for what, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months? And like, there's so much pent up frustration. And then for this just to happen, it's just like, it's like, as messed up as it sounds, it's just like, hopefully this is the last time where it's like, okay, it's just another list. It's just another person added to the list of people that lost their hands to police brutality.
I agree.
The most ironic thing is, like, there's a presser from Andrew Cuomo, who's the New York governor, and he's talking about, this has been happening since 1992 with Rodney King, with Abner Louima, which was in New York in 97, Amadou Diallo, which was, I think, 01. Obviously, and the list goes on. And it's like, okay, yeah, you say that, but meanwhile, there's videos of NYPD throwing batons at people. There was one video of a woman walking, and NYPD, this woman, I believe, weighs more than 100 pounds, just pushes her to the ground. They're using, which they've always done. They use buses. They use, like, the city buses. They don't look like they're city buses. They actually use them to transport prisoners of people they've arrested.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, when is this just gonna stop? All these people talking about, oh yeah, we need to do change, and yet there's nothing that's happening. People's voices who work every day, their voices haven't been heard. So how their voices get heard? They riot. Rioting is the voice of the voiceless.
Yeah, I agree. I agree, and I think that the unfortunate part is that we've spent so many decades, and honestly, at this point in time, centuries being at war, in terms of minorities, being at war with the police. I think what you see now are that the protesters are trying to remove the gates, from the White House, and essentially trying to storm the White House, as we can see on CNN and I see on other outlets. I just think that this is a time of civil unrest, and I think that me as a black man, I'm not going to be one of those people that will sit up here and say that every interaction I've ever had, oh, wow, they're really trying to still storm this White House. I'm not going to sit up here and say every interaction I've ever had with the police officers has been negative. I will never be the person to say that all police are evil. But I believe that all police as an ideology and in terms of their job, they're evil. I think that presidents, by and large, they unite people. But the ideology of what it is that they have to do as a job still is really an evil thing. I mean, when you think about it, presidents always usually have to murder a lot of people, incite war, usually act as being the judge, jury, and executioner in a lot of situations. So they have a lot of, unrest and burden that falls on their hands, which is why you see guys like President Obama going to the White House looking like me and then come out looking like my granddad. And
he still loses his hairline though.
No, it ain't just his hairline. His shit was black like mine, and by the time he was peppered like my grandmother. So I'm just looking at a lot of this stuff, and I just think that it's just really, really insane and absolutely, ridiculous looking at all of this stuff. And we can sit up here and we can try to blame every police officer. I don't believe that every single police officer is bad, but I think that policing as a whole in the United States and as an ideological archetypal infrastructural organization in America, meaning that they have been in the zeitgeist of American conscience from the beginning of time, since America was essentially started, because this country was built and industry was built and industrialized on the backs of slavery. Right. So that is already in the zeitgeist and the archetypes of American culture. We've seen it. I literally had no clue that Judy Gardner from goddamn Wizard of Oz was in a movie where she was in blackface, full blackface. I'm like, yo, whoa, I'm never watching the Wizard of Oz again. Fuck that movie.
It was
And I don't care
the
about it being a sign of the times, because not every actor back then was doing blackface. So I'm
right.
looking at all of this stuff, and as you can hear all the police sirens going on in the background, I
How
don't
close
know.
are you guys to the protesting in LA?
I'm
Yeah, I'm
within
not really near it.
I'm within a couple. I'm within about a mile and a half, literally physical
Okay.
mile and a half. So you can hear it all. The helicopters are flying all overhead, zooming around. Police cars going everywhere. I don't see a bunch of people, but I do see a lot of police cars flying everywhere.
Right.
But I do know,
Okay.
and I'm looking at video of CNN and Twitter, and there's people everywhere in the streets.
It's crazy.
It's unfortunate. And
That
you know, and as Matt and Elizabeth said, police are not evil. I don't believe that all of them are, but the ideological thing that is the police force in America is evil.
Around
And,
the world,
I can
I
believe it.
wholeheartedly agree.
If it's just built around controlling
around the
slaves,
world.
then what does that say about us?
around the world.
Literally.
You got to think about it this
If
way.
the ideology is built, I'm sorry, if the ideology is built around controlling slaves, what does it say about the rest of us?
I feel you.
The police.
But I'm just like reading the last tweet. He said, "If you've never seen policing in a third world country, you don't know what you're talking about." Yeah, I'm sure it's terrible there too. I'm sure it's. I'm sure
is.
you know this is an issue that ain't just affects us. We just America, so we can publicize it more than what other places can, and when people don't really have a way to get their voice out.
Right. I
Yeah,
feel
Nelson,
like
what
in
were we
regards
saying? Go
to
ahead.
just
Go ahead.
policing and law enforcement, it's a gang mentality. They try to talk about how, they try to protect and serve against like gangs in neighborhoods, but meanwhile, those gangs in neighborhoods were meant to protect from the police, which is to me is, from the way they've been acting freaking for decades, the biggest gang in the world. I mean, and it's terrible because, like, granted, I have relatives who are cops and were cops. So, like, I have family friends who are cops, and they seem like good people. But then it's like the way I look at it, like from back in the day, like from people who have been in the force for decades, they're people who became cops to protect the neighborhood, to protect people around them. They're people, you go to certain neighborhoods where they've been cops for decades, and they're like family because they had the right morals and principles. Okay, I'm becoming a police officer to protect and serve the people in whatever respected neighborhood I'm in. Now, like especially in New York, and I'm gonna assume it's the similar sort of way in LA, considering we're two of the biggest cities in the United States, where you get these people who are straight out of high school or just young, who probably got punked in high school, who didn't have power like that, and then you give them it. And I've heard like how it works with NYPD, where allegedly it's like you don't get a gun and a badge ASAP. They have you do community service, anything like that. But come on, let's be honest. You think a white dude is gonna go to just with I hate saying like a white cop, but just a cop in general, or any race. Just say a person who, like I said, got punked, now is gonna get a gun and a badge, passes the academy, all that good stuff. Is gonna go to a neighborhood where they do community service. They don't care about that neighborhood. They're just like, oh, I'm just gonna do this shit till I get the gun and the badge, and then when the first type of confrontation or the adrenaline starts to rise,
Glasses,
they
what's
pull
up?
the gun and shoot the gun out of nowhere. Like that shit is crazy to me,
Yeah, I agree. It's
good,
definitely
bro.
it's insane. Glasses, what's up? How you doing?
And then the unions fuck it up.
Glasses Malone, can you hear us?
Yeah, I hear you. I was
How you
letting
doing?
you finish.
Oh yeah, my bad.
I was letting you finish your
I
thought.
appreciate that. Thank you. No, and thank you,
Thank you,
Nelson.
bro. Appreciate that.
No.
No
I
problem.
definitely appreciate that perspective because I'm personally not in New York. We're on the West Coast, so
Right.
even kind of hearing how New Yorkers feel about everything that's going on, and obviously you said you didn't watch the video because you saw the Eric Gardner situation. These things are traumatizing for all in the community. It's not. It's a black issue, but it's traumatizing for everybody. You're not a black man, but even you, like, yo, I saw that.
Yeah,
and it was so traumatizing
I'm Hispanic.
for
I'm
me.
Puerto
I
Rican.
don't want to see that again. I don't need to
I used to
see any
see-
semblance of that.
I used to see Eric going in the neighborhood. My dad used to see him on his way to work. Like I'm like, yo, like I never talked to the man, but I'm like, yo, I've seen this guy around before. And just to see that happen is just like, it's fucking sickening, bro. Like that's the best way to explain it for me.
Yeah, Glasses, what are your thoughts
So
on everything that's going on in the world right now? Obviously, we see riots all across the United States. We see protests all around the world, including in China and Hong Kong. What do you think about the current state of what's going on in the world? And also, I mean, what do you think about this entire George Floyd incident? What are your thoughts? Talk to us. You're live with Real
Um,
TPJ.
he's going to jail. Um, I was happy to see they charged him um, with a convictable crime. A lot of times when these things happen, they won't charge him with a convictable crime. They react to the public's outcry and immediately run and charge him with first-degree murder, and knowing they can't prove that kind of case, and the officers get off scot-free, and that's the end of it. So for, you know, the DA over there to charge him with that crime, they actually are trying to get a conviction. So I thought that was smart. Um, as far as the people going through what they're going through, they're just tired. People, in a very fragile situation. They ain't been able to work. They don't have no money, and you kicking our ass. It's a
yeah,
bad problem. It's a
Yeah,
bad problem. It's gonna have a lot of angry people over and over again.
yeah, I agree. Have you been paying
So
attention to the news at all, or seeing what's going on in downtown Los Angeles right now? What are your thoughts on it? Obviously, you're an
I've been
LA
out there a
OG.
couple times.
Okay.
Um, shit, man, you gotta raise hell. I mean, the way I look at
That's
it
why I
is two
love you,
fights.
Glasses. That's why I love you, man. I swear to God, that's why I love you, bro. That man said,
It's,
that man said, I mean, you gotta
You gotta
raise
raise
hell.
hell.
That's
gotta
why I
raise
love
hell,
you, man.
man. I mean,
what you do, man.
racism is a 4,000 mile journey to overcome. And if you raising hell, you gain at least 300-400 feet. So I mean, you
I'm
got to keep
crying.
raising hell to gain you know ground on this situation. As far as the
Yeah,
police, they got a rough job. I know this is probably a weird time to talk about it. They got a rough job, and if people from our community ain't gonna police our community, and they not gonna,
Facts.
we should be fighting for those people to
exactly.
be a part of the force. Because even if it ain't hatred, that's driving all of the killings and the 611 killings in Los Angeles County since 2012. If it's not hate, it's fear. It's fear. It's
Well,
breakdowns in communication. So it's really important to get more black people you know, um, into the police, because it ain't about changing these white boys' nature. That just ain't gonna happen. These crackers gonna be crackers no matter what. It ain't their fault. It's just in their nature. I don't even get surprised anytime they do stuff anymore. It's like, who cries when a dog barks? Like, it don't even make sense. It's like, this is what they do. So I'm not saying get brothers in to change their mind. I'm talking about get brothers in just to make sure one nigga make it home every day.
Dead ass.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? I know it seemed like extreme, but it's that we at that stage of making sure the brothers make it home. You know what I'm saying? And if you could get one brother in to make it home every day, you know what I mean? Every day, it's been situations where I got personal friends who are part of the LAPD or part of the sheriff, and they didn't have partners who was just extra aggressive or extra nervous. It was like, look, let me deal with it, and that might have saved that one person's life. So it's really important that the community understand it's us and us alone. You got to stop looking for anybody else outside of us to help us. We got to fix our own problems. We got to be responsible for each other. We could complain to them all we want to. Like I said, all this hell we raising, and we still only gonna gain a couple 100 feet in a 3,000 mile race. So
yeah, I agree on that.
eventually, we just got to realize we got to take care of ourselves. If it means us being a judge, if it means us, becoming police officers, we need more people from our community to become teachers. Like, we got to take care of ourselves because everybody else in America is taking care of themselves.
Facts.
Yeah, I agree. In terms of, I'm not sure if you're aware. Did you see what Killer Mike, said to the people of Atlanta?
I don't know, but I was so proud of him. I didn't give a damn what he said. I was
Okay.
so proud of
Yeah.
Atlanta. I have been so worried about Atlanta, man. Atlanta, I feel like Atlanta is the core of Black America. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
saying? Like, and for what happened to Ahmaud to happen in Georgia and them not raise hell, I was worried. But they restored my faith today. They got busy. They let everybody know how they felt about it, and I loved it. And I'm so grateful for everything Minneapolis is doing, you know, for the Twin Cities, man. Like I love that spirit, man. That spirit is like we not dead. You know what I mean? I love that spirit of we willing to fight for something. You know what I mean? I love that spirit. You know, people talking about stores burning down in our community. Like Target is not our store. Fuck Target. No disrespect. I mean, I shop at Target all the time, but if it burned down, it's okay. Walmart got better prices anyway. You know, if you're not for us, if you're not against
Wow,
what's
man.
going on, shit, fuck your store, man. Shit, fuck it, dog. Like you got to draw the line in the sand and see who with you and who not.
Yeah, I agree, and I definitely think that what we're seeing now, and and what I feel like, because of this murder is so egregious. I think what we really are starting to see is that even people that have always had in their brains of that, well, he might have, or there's really nothing. There's really nothing you can say about that video, because even in that video, you see a white woman approach the cops and say, "Hey, you guys just choke this man out." She's literally screaming at the cops like, "Hey, what are you all doing?" So it's bigger than he was some mastermind criminal that was high off this or high off that. It's like, no, we saw him not moving too much, being very, very peaceful, and then unfortunately we saw his life taken. It's really unfortunate. What do you think about Donald Trump's tweet in terms of the when the looting when the looting starts, the shooting starts?
That nigga's a gangster rapper. Y'all know I like Trump. That nigga's hilarious to me. Um,
What?
it's just a threat, man. That's just all cap. Man, that's all talk.
Gangster rapper.
They you behind, nigga. Supposed to be a lot of shooting already because shit getting looted for sure. But again, man, America is not the kind of country that's gonna do something in front of the world and embarrass themselves. So all of that is just talk. Trump is a gangster rapper, man. He just be doing a lot of talking. And some things he gonna be backing it up, but some of that shit is just cap. Some of it is just to get, a certain arousal. And that dude know what he's doing. He's a
I
marketing
mean, yeah, but if he's
fucking
trying to
genius.
get a certain arousal, isn't he trying to get it from a very specific person or a
Not
very
really, because
specific
what's
demographic
gonna
that
happen
he's been
if
speaking to that he called
if
fine young men?
yeah, but that's not real, man. That's all cap, man. People he he opened in a lot of them statements, man. That's just cap. I ain't finna shoot nobody. I ain't
Okay,
finna do nothing.
that's the first time I've heard anybody say Trump is cap or compare him
Yeah,
to a
it's a
gangster
lot
rapper.
of cap, man. Trump got a lot of cap.
He does.
Cap, cap, cap. Some of it is real, some of it ain't. That all that looting start and shooting start, that's trash. That ain't finna happen.
But we saw 7 protesters get shot last night, which I feel it was a direct correlation with that. I don't think that he to me doesn't seem like a person that is bent upon aiming to give veiled threats or veiled threats. Do you
And
feel
he
like
got
he's
so
a
many
person
failed
that
threats. He got so many failed threats, it's scary. But again, that's not to say it's not about calling his bluff. I mean, as a president of the United States of America, you're supposed to say that. You're supposed to protect business owners and business interests. You're supposed to be talking about if people overthrow the government. You're supposed to say that. I don't pay that no attention. All I pay attention to is them burning down the police precinct and
yeah.
singing.
Yeah,
That's all I
that
worry about. I don't worry about what that man talking about. That man ain't finna do nothing.
that might have been
What
the
do you think
first
about
time in
that?
my life
What do
that
you
I
guys think
ever
about that?
seen
They were
that
singing Chief Keef's Finito.
that was the first time in my life I've ever seen anybody burn down anything that actually strategically makes sense. I was like, you
I
know
know. I
what?
was like, I
I
was
was
so
like,
impressed.
yo,
I called my
okay.
partners from the Twin Cities. I say, y'all got the juice now, man. I thought we had the juice. Y'all got the juice, bro.
I've
Prince
never
hometown is wild, bro.
I've never seen that before. I have never
Me,
seen anybody burn down anything that strategically makes sense. I have never.
I was
Usually it's
like,
random
I
buildings.
was, man, it
I,
was impressive. I
I've
was impressed. I
never.
was like, but you know what? It's that funk music, man. It's the funk. It's the
What?
funk. Minneapolis is the home of the funk, man, and LA is funky, and we get funky. They got funky, boy. I was just so impressed, man.
Literally, I've never ever seen that before. I'm like, damn, okay, all right, shout out y'all.
I was like, the court building is next. We just get it. I was so impressed, man. And I, again, it's not about ignorance. I get it. Everybody feels like it's about ignorance. It's not, man. When you silence people and you don't listen to what they're saying, oh, people gonna be hurt. They're gonna
Nah,
do what it takes to be heard.
I had zero issue with the police thing because again, this is a symbol of what you're mad at. Again, you ain't kill nobody. I'm pretty sure everybody got out the precinct fine. You ain't like kill nobody. You just burned down the symbol of what you mad at. This is your oppressor, and you burn down the symbol of your oppressor. It's like you know, I remember the Boston Tea Party being brought up. You just threw the tea overboard. You just threw the tea overboard. It's like, okay, we mad at you. This tea is a representation of breeding. We're going to throw the tea overboard. And yeah, that's basically what that is by setting the precinct on fire. It's like we took something away from our oppressors. We ain't hurt nobody. We ain't killed nobody. Everybody get to go home to their families, but we burnt down a symbol of our oppressor. And it also strategically makes sense.
Yo, shout out to Nico. Nico Apex has just joined us. I think glasses might have clicked out.
What's good, y'all?
What's good, Nico? How you doing, man? If you can, move your hood off your head so that way your mic don't rub up against it.
Oh, my bad.
Obviously, the George Floyd protests are going
I just
on all around the world.
I wanted to say
What are
shout
your
out to y'all. Congrats on episode 200. My Wi-Fi might be shitty.
Yeah, it is. You got that Nelly Wi-Fi right now. Hello? Sorry, we lost Nico. Is anybody else there? I can't hear you guys anymore.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Nelson, you still there? Nelson, I can't hear you anymore. Nico, are you there? Nico's calling from 2G. I'm sorry, Nico. But Nelson, I can't hear you anymore. But Pavy, obviously, you heard what Glasses had to say. What do you think about Glasses' opinion in regards to all of this stuff?
I would never hate Glasses' opinions. Even if I think they always come from a place of he thought about it before he said it.
Yeah.
Like anything he ever says, I know he thought about it and gave it clear thought before he opened his mouth up and said it. So I can always see where it comes from. Like even today, this morning, I watched like 6 hours worth of Dr. Umar videos. I like Dr. Umar.
You watched 6 hours
like
of Dr. Umar videos.
What? But look, check it out. Here's why. Because people laugh at it, but I can tell anytime he speaks, he thought about what he said. Now, do I agree with everything? I think sometimes he takes stuff a little bit too far, but I think a lot of times, obviously he's still promoting himself, so he has to do that. It's obviously, self gain in it, but I listen to the content, I absorb the content, I think about it, and I take what pieces, that makes sense to me. So anytime anybody speak and I can tell, that they put thought into what they say, I feel them. Like, yeah, Trump does say a lot of cap. You know how many threats Trump done made throughout the time he'd been in office? Trump said a lot of shit. I also think that as a president, you have to be a little bit more diplomatic and you shouldn't say some of the shit. But Trump does say a lot of shit that's like, okay, you're not going to listen. I'm going to build a wall. No, you're not. You literally are not going to do that, bro. No, you're not. But it sounds really cool. And, to like a certain of the population, it's like, yeah, we're going to take America back. You're not going to build a wall, bro. Economically, that don't even make sense. That's cap. It's a threat and it's cap.
Supposedly, the bond for Derek Chauvin has been set at $500,000.
Yeah, he'll get out.
He bet what?
You said $500,000, but that's $50K.
He better not get out.
That's $50K.
He better not get out.
I'm pretty
sure
that's $50K.
What?
He's gonna get out, bro. He's gonna get out, bro.
I'm not rocking.
They gonna put the bro.
People. Yo, who is this perk that's calling in? Oh, Damien, what's up, Damien?
I was about to say something.
Damien, what's up, man? How you doing? Talk to the people. You're here. You're live. Yeah, Nico, you here?
What we talking about?
Yeah.
We're talking about the George Floyd protests. What are your thoughts?
It's a long time coming. It's not a surprise that people is finally fed up because it seems like this happens every couple months. And there's been no change from all the stuff that goes on all the time this shit happens. So I think it just came to a head.
Yeah, you're in the, you're a part of America's armed forces as a whole. What are your thoughts on the National Guard being called in and to deal with civil unrest and stuff like that? Do you think that it's a proper tactic and strategy?
I hope California chill out. For me.
Oh yeah.
But as far as the whole, so when they had the riots, So I worked with some old heads when they had the riots out here. They sent them out for like the first 2 days with no ammo.
What?
Huh?
Yeah, they
So they
sent them
wanted y'all to
out.
die.
They didn't have any ammo
Oh my
ready
God, bro.
for when that popped off. So they just sent them out.
I mean, I'm sure.
with
I mean,
empty M16s.
To
Empty
intimidate
M16s
people or something?
walking around Compton during the riot.
An empty M16.
I mean, also, if I see somebody with an M16, I don't know if I'm gonna run up on that person, too. So
Yeah.
it's like, that's
Yeah.
Yeah, you never know, right? But as far as them bringing them out, it has to be some type of semblance of trying to have it in order. So I don't have a problem with the National Guard being called on it, rather than the actual active military. So no, I don't have a problem with it.
That's
Isn't it?
crazy.
They going crazy out there right now, right?
Not by me. I think most of it's happening in downtown LA, which is what, like 30, 40 minutes from me.
Yeah.
So I ain't seeing nothing out here in Long Beach. I'm chilling.
yeah, I ain't really seen nothing around my house either. I mean, like I've heard obviously, police cars probably. I'm like assuming going downtown, but I ain't really, heard nothing going on out here either.
Me either.
Atlanta is allegedly looting in Lenox Mall.
Atlanta, they busted up
Yo, they
the
got-
College Football Hall of Fame.
Gee,
They got
they
the
What?
busted up
Xbox
the
down
College
there
Football
too.
Hall of Fame in Atlanta.
Man.
Yeah.
Wow.
They
Shit.
looted that.
Wow.
So
yeah.
niggas, I mean, people probably walking around with Georgia helmets swinging at the sky.
They got the
Like
Icebox
Pastor
down there
Floyd.
This
too.
man
They-
Damien, bro.
Come
This man
on, bro.
Damien, G.
Oh my.
This man Damien.
They got the
Damien, bro.
throwbacks on and everything,
This
man.
man
Right.
Damien, bro.
Yeah.
They beat that nigga out to the Herschel
Walking
Walker
out.
jersey.
Walking out with a Heinz Ward replica on,
What
Heinz
a-
Ward game worn jersey.
What
Yeah, hanging up in the
Deion Sanders gamer.
crib. Florida State.
Yo. They got
that up on eBay right now.
Apparently,
They got
It's crazy.
apparently
bro.
they're fucking up everything
was
but
sick.
Waffle House. Shout out to them.
they got
That's
the
really
Icebox.
nice.
They got the Icebox down there too. That's like the biggest jewelry store or some shit. They stealing APs and shit.
They just gonna be walking around the hood iced out next week.
Iced out
Ice-
like
Walking
Snoop.
around the
I
hood
see-
iced out, icy as hell next week.
I follow somebody.
Oh my
I follow
God,
somebody
that's
on Twitter.
Crazy.
I follow somebody on Twitter. They were
AP
like,
for sale.
Crazy.
they were like, if
Crazy
you got the
night.
skeleton AP, DM me. They were like,
What?
I follow somebody on Twitter from Atlanta. They were like, if you got the skeleton AP from Icebox, DM me right now. I got 10K for you.
Wow, I see a video of somebody literally posting Icebox just got looted. That's
Yep,
crazy.
there it go.
Yo, that's crazy. It's the ice box right there. Damn.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Hey, Pav, I heard you say something about his bond being 500,000.
Yeah.
Them racist white people gonna raise 50K
Exactly.
in a heartbeat.
Yeah, exactly.
That
Exactly.
shit,
He
Bruh.
getting
that
out, bro.
drives
He
me
getting out,
crazy.
bro.
There's a
His
GoFundMe
bail
out
should be
there.
at $5
There's a
million.
GoFundMe
He
out
would
there
still
right
get
now
out
that
if it's
nobody knows
5
about.
million.
He should have no
He
bail.
still get out if it's
He
5
shouldn't
million.
get bail.
He
No
should.
bail. Yeah, but you're not gonna get no bail for a third degree murder. You
Yeah.
gotta do
Yeah.
some shit to get no bail. Like you gotta do some shit to
Yeah.
get no bail.
We're
And
gonna
he's a
be
cop, so of course they're
we
gonna
gonna
give him a
be
chance to
real-
go home and kiss his babies and family and shit for this
Oh
for
my-
this trial happens.
Yeah, and Nico, tilt your camera down, bro. I need to see your face.
You think he's gonna
Oh,
get jail
my
time?
bad. My bad.
I think it's a very, very good chance he gets jail time because I think what they actually charged him with, they can actually convict him on.
Yeah,
Really
because
sad that we
I was
said we
reading the
think he gonna
max
get jail
term.
time.
I think the max for third degree is 25 years, which
Yeah.
I don't think he's gonna get. To be
And, like,
this
manslaughter?
is just I'm
I
being a
think it's-
pessimist.
Yeah, it's 25
But-
and the max is 10 with manslaughter. So I think the best you can hope for is like 15.
Yeah, and then he gonna do like half of it, and then he gonna be
Half.
out.
And then
So
be
it's like
off.
8.
Yeah, it's gonna be like the Dallas with the Botham Jean with that cop. They gave
Ain't
her
he
what?
out already?
She might be. Because what they give her like 8 years and then 2 she serves or something crazy like that.
Yeah, they gave some bullshit
Some
on that one.
bullshit. I'm like,
Like she walked in that man's house and shot his ass.
Yeah.
listen.
It's all
Listen.
bullshit.
The
She
cop
was
who killed
wild.
Eric
All
Garner is still
bullshit.
walking somewhere.
Was it
so
true
that says
that
enough.
was it true that the cop knew George Floyd or some shit? Like they
Yes.
were like coworkers
Well,
or something like
it's
We
that.
true
don't
that
know.
they worked at the same
They were
bar.
co-workers, yes.
They were co-workers, but
Yeah.
it's not. But we don't know
We
if
don't know
they
if
knew
they know
each other. But
But
they
yes,
were
they were
co-workers. They
co-workers.
were co-workers for at least a year.
It's foul. There's
Chauvin
not.
worked at
Yeah,
security at the
they
Bush for
overlap like
17 years. That's what
shifts at a nightclub or something like that. I think it was, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Chauvin worked at a
That's just
nightclub
that's
as a
just
bouncer for
some 6
16
degrees of
years.
separation shit.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yo,
But
my
though,
dad.
you know, you don't be these lawyers. I wouldn't be surprised they use that against him. Like, oh, he must have been doing something before they overlap shifts or some crazy shit like that.
Wow, George
Like-
Floyd's attorney put out a statement that his wife has just filed for divorce. Wow. Okay.
No, not George Floyd, the cop. The cop.
Yeah,
I'm
wife.
sorry.
Oh,
I'm
the
sorry,
cop.
I'm sorry.
The
I'm
cop's
sorry.
wife.
I'm sorry.
She
Not
don't
George
gotta
Floyd. I
file
mean the
for
cop.
divorce.
I'm sorry. I
Yeah,
mean the
she
cop.
getting the fuck up out of there. Like, nope.
Yeah,
You ain't finna
nah.
Yeah,
seize
she's
all
like, I ain't
my
dealing
bank
with this
accounts.
shit.
You
I
ain't
mean,
finna
it-
seize all my bank accounts paying for your lawyer fees. Fuck
Oh
out of
shit,
here.
man.
Nope.
Nah,
Shit.
she not trying to catch a hot one.
Surprised
That's why.
Minneapolis Police Department ain't paying for that lawyer fee.
Yeah, she
They
probably
said,
getting the fuck out of there ASAP.
I seen in Atlanta, some
Remember
lawyers
though,
are.
the same lawyer, the same lawyer that's representing him is the same lawyer that represented the cop that killed Philando.
Yeah, see, something got to change. Because if they think that this is bad, it's only going to get worse if they don't convict this man. We watch cold-blooded murder. And
Finna be martial law or some shit.
Nah, it shouldn't
we
be
don't want
martial
that.
law because I feel like that's the kind of shit Trump wants. I feel like as much distraction as he can humanly get, he wants. Because he want to take all attention away from this election because we're not talking about the election or Biden
First of
saying
all,
if you
can
don't
we
vote for me,
talk
we
about this
black.
election real quick?
Yeah.
Real
Let's
quick.
go ahead. Let's talk about
Here
this
go the
election.
thing. Number one, mail-in ballots. Okay, mail-in ballots. No. I know it's a very touchy situation. Obviously, there's a whole thing with coronavirus going on, and
I
obviously,
disagree with that. I mail in my ballot. I
Yeah,
like mailing in my ballot.
yes, but here's the thing, though, right? When I think mail-in ballots, I just think 2000 on steroids. When you're doing
Hell
a
yeah.
vast number,
Bro,
What year is it?
when
I was about to say that.
when you're doing a vast number of mail-in ballots, also knowing Trump, let's say for some reason he loses, right? There is no way if we doing mail-in ballots, he not gonna claim that ballots got lost, which will
Right.
take
Yep.
however much
Yep.
time or whatever. So like, yeah, mail-in ballots sound like a good idea when it's like not the vast thing that everybody is doing. When you mailing in, how many Americans is it? 350 million Americans.
Almost
Some
400
shit
million.
like that.
So
Almost
like,
400 million.
okay, so like let's say 150 million people vote. 150 million mail-in ballots. That sound like ballots getting lost. Like, yeah, that's cool with like 3, 4 million, 5 million people mailing their
Nah.
ballot. Like, that's cool. But 150 people mailing in a ballot sound like ballots getting lost. And that's what I'm gonna say about that. So I mean, I understand, with what's going on, but I feel like if we can go to
What do the rest of you guys think?
but I feel like if we can get up and go to Target, I think we can get up and go to vote.
I agree in the sense of that, like this weirdly screams 2000 election all over again. And with mail-in ballots being lost, because it's gonna go either one way. Either if Trump loses, he's gonna say that, or Trump wins. Whoever there's gonna be some report a couple weeks later that says, "Oh, mail-in ballots were lost," and then it's just whatever. Yeah, Trump got another 4 years, and Trump's gonna tweet and and jerk himself off on Twitter. Like that's both ways it's gonna go, and it's gonna go either way. And I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like I understand why we're doing mail-in ballots considering the pandemic, but at the same time, it's like there's just so many weird ways they can mess with this election.
They're gonna lose a lot of voters.
I don't trust it wholeheartedly. However they do it,
they're gonna lose a lot of voters doing that shit.
Yeah, because
a lot. Damon, what do you
there's
think about it?
motherfuckers that just don't like mailing shit. So they're gonna be like,
Facts.
they're like, go to the mailbox, get a stamp. Like, fuck that, I ain't even gonna vote.
Damon, where's your video at? Why can't we see you?
Oh, hold up.
I'm not even.
Go ahead.
This is gonna sound wild,
but
but I'm 23 and I still haven't voted. I've never voted before.
Why not?
Well, you really? That's not that bad. That's not that bad.
Yeah, no, I
I'm
was
asking.
19 for
simply
the
asking.
last
Why not?
election.
Uh-huh.
I can never get into it for some reason. I feel like I learned all my news off Twitter, and that's bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Damon, what do you think, Damon?
I think for this election, either way, it's going to be a shit show. Either way it goes, it's going to be a fucking mess. Like you said, if Trump loses, he gonna act the ass. make hella excuses and shit why he didn't win.
Right.
And then if he win, he don't act even more stupid because he
Oh
like
my God,
4
bro.
more years.
The tweet
He
he gonna let
act
out. The
a
tweet he
fool
gonna let out if he wins. G.
He gonna put out a
Bruh.
video for the agents.
G. The tweet he gonna let out if he
That's just
wins,
gonna be
bro.
photoshopped to hell. That's
He
just
gonna
gonna be
be in front of
photoshopped
this
crazy.
Bro, he
gonna
yo,
that shit up.
he gonna Photoshop his head like in a Puffy victory video or some shit.
Yo,
Right.
Jack gonna have to censor way more of his
Like
shit
he's
after
oh my
that.
God, bro.
He's just gonna be a fool. He
I
probably
mean,
put Photoshop him with gold chains,
Yeah.
like Vince, walking like Vince McMahon, just acting stupid.
Photoshop his head over 2 chains and it says 2 terms.
that's not.
Yep.
Now he'll blame the postal service for losing
He'll
his
do that
ballots.
shit. I can
He'll-
see that one for real.
He's
Wait,
already
what is
wilding for the Joe Biden shit and the T.I. song.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
There was no reason for
whoever
that.
his social media manager is, or whoever made that for him, that shit, I ain't gonna lie, that shit was funny as hell.
Yo,
Yeah.
him having a Snapchat is ridiculous in the first place.
Damien, what do you think about in terms of Trump, in terms of the tweets, and obviously, do you think that presidents should be allowed? Do you think that government officials should be allowed to use social media?
I think they should, but they need to be more measured than what our president is, because there's a lot of government officials that use
This is my only question to rebut
Twitter
that.
and stuff.
Isn't the president supposed to be the gold standard for this, though?
Right, and that's where we got a problem, because there's a lot of politicians that use it in the right way. Shit, Obama used it perfectly and got himself elected as president.
True.
Like, Trump is out here tweeting like us. You can't be the fucking president tweeting like us.
Bro,
Trump literally
he tweets like a
literally tweet like us.
Trump tweets like a Twitter egg,
like
a Twitter troll.
Just grab his phone first thing that come with mine, just tweet it and send it off.
Trump-
like, no, you the
Trump
president
think
of the United States.
You can't do that, bro. You got
You
80
can't
million
do that
followers,
shit.
bro. You got
Trump is
80 million
Right.
followers, bro.
Trump the MAGA big business.
Like, you can't just fire off whatever you
Yo,
think.
you funny as
Oh,
hell, G.
Yo, the MAGA big business is crazy.
Wow.
Oh my God. I'm about to tweet
Like,
Biz and tell him
it's
that.
funny because other times, like when we have
Gee,
sports,
I'm definitely sending that to him.
He tweeted about
MAGA
a
big
game and
business.
shit.
Trump is the MAGA big
MAGA
business,
big
bro.
business. I'm fucking crying.
He about to tweet Mike Pence, I'm outside in the AMG.
Right.
I
Come
can't
through.
take this shit.
Where you at?
Pull
Shit
up.
was
man.
crazy.
Now, I like how Mike Pence tried to do the, we're praying for people. And then Eric Reed was like, man, you were talking about how we should get condemned for kneeling. What the fuck are you talking about?
He low-key scared me worse than Trump. He
Yo,
too
Oh, yeah,
quiet.
Pence is,
way
Pence
worse.
is,
He
Pence
too
is
way
quiet.
worse.
Way worse.
Pence is
He got
worse.
that dictator face.
Way like wasn't
he got like a dictator Michael Scott look to him, and I don't
He was-
like that.
Wasn't he governor of Indiana? Indiana's the birthplace of the Klan. I am so straight on Pence.
Yo, I
Yeah.
don't trust nobody that got Rudy Giuliani teeth.
Bro, don't get me started. Bro, I'm from New York. Don't get me started on Rudy Giuliani, dog. I could be all
What
night
are
talking about Rudy
your
Giuliani,
thoughts
bro.
on Rudy Giuliani, Nelson? How do you
He
feel
re-
as a New Yorker? Talk to the people. You're live on Real Talk with
Fam.
TPJ.
Listen, the reason why Rudy Giuliani, why he kind of gets a pat on the back is because of how we reacted to 9/11. But listen, man, Rudy Giuliani and Mayor Bloomberg are why New York City doesn't feel like New York
Yep.
City anymore.
Yep.
Why don't New Yorkers like Mayor Bloomberg? What has he done or what has he not done for the community?
He don't do shit. he just knocks down buildings and puts big businesses, and he just cares for the business, not for the people.
There was shit going on. There was shit going on with you remember the pat downs and shit like
Stop
that
and frisk.
when they
Stop. Yes,
yeah stop
thank
and
you.
frisk. But he was worried about sugar. 64-ounce sodas and shit like that while that was all going on.
So what
Mayor-
exactly
Mayor
was Stop and Frisk, and
Bloomberg-
what was the
Mayor-
premises of
Stop and Frisk was literally like, yo, they could walk up to you if they think you're a person of they could come up to me, like, mind you, I'm Hispanic, but like if I was walking in, I don't know, the Lower East Side of Manhattan, they could walk up to me and pat me down and it'd be like nothing. They could walk you and pat you down and damn near put you in the car just because they think you look suspicious. Not even with
Doing some shit.
not even with probable cause, none of that. The funny part is that it was kind of Giuliani's thing. And then with Bloomberg, it went up. Because remember, Bloomberg was only supposed to do 2 terms, and then he put some little order that made him get a 3rd term. And from when it kind of started, which is like the end of Giuliani going into Bloomberg, the numbers skyrocketed. Like it went from like 60,000 to almost like 500,000 people. And when Bloomberg went, I don't know if y'all remember when Bloomberg was like, "Oh, I'm gonna try to run for the, I'm gonna try to get the Democratic nomination." People left and right were tweeting like, "Bro, you talking about you're sorry for stopping first, but you weren't sorry a couple years ago when those numbers were damn near went up 100%." And he tried to walk back on all, you know.
Yeah,
he tried to walk back on everything.
when they only ever sorry when they're trying to get elected into a new office.
Yeah, bro,
They're never sorry when they're fucking up the policy and ruining human lives.
He tried to throw all his money into his nominations, and that did nothing for him. Like everybody, it's funny because, and I'm glad like the real New Yorkers, like people who live there who knew about everything, were like, "Come on, bro! Like you're not fooling all not almost 8 million of us. We know how you ran shit. You think you're gonna run that shit as president, bro? That guy." He just thinks that, with Bloomberg, it's like, I'm gonna throw my Bloomberg business money and think that's gonna solve the problem.
The riots by the White House, not the riots, the protests by the White House is starting to get a little bit more violent. It seems like the protesters are trying to rush the White House.
Yeah, they've been pushing back.
That shit is gonna get crazy.
That's gonna get
that shit is gonna get crazy.
Idea.
Yeah,
that's not a great
idea.
That's not a great idea.
That's gonna be crazy, man.
That's
they definitely got
not a great idea.
Yeah, not a good idea.
Not a great idea.
Yeah.
You might
Hell no. It's just,
oh my god, bro.
It sucks. It sucks that it takes something like a tragedy like this to make people really open their eyes. Like we lost somebody that, probably had a good life, a good family and shit. Just, because the cop had a bad day. Like this shit is disgusting.
Yeah. But because we always talk sports, I want to know, what are all of you all's candid thoughts on Michael Porter Jr.? Michael Porter Jr. got a ton of backlash from Twitter from essentially tweeting that we need to pray and try to forgive and try to forgive the officers that were a part of George Floyd's murder. What are your thoughts?
He's an idiot.
I think the nerve damage from his back problems got to his head.
Yeah, your spine's connected to your neck, so
your spine's connected
his back was just too high.
Yeah, bro. The back was flaming, bro.
Damien?
And all the high altitude in Denver,
I think he's just. How old is he? 19, 20?
19, 20. Yeah, he's young. He's
just really stupid. I think someone said he's like hella churchy. Right?
Yeah.
He's hella God.
He's like Tim Tebow.
Yeah, but you should still like
Tim Tebow with a hot back
in the chat. You should know better. If you're gonna say that, you should know what backlash you're gonna get, and just keep that shit to yourself. If that's how you really think, keep that to yourself, because soon as you hit send, motherfuckers about to flame your ass up for saying some dumb shit like that. Or not some dumb shit, but shit that's opposite of what like the majority of people on Twitter believe. Like, no matter what your mention's gonna get fried.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not about right or wrong. It's about knowing when your opinion is necessary or not needed.
Yeah.
And I don't think his opinion was. I don't think he's wrong for his opinion. Like all he said was pray for people. That's just like a foundational Christian thing. Like, pray for your enemies. That's basically all it says. Pray for your enemies. I don't think he's wrong with like. Some don't call him stupid. It's just like I don't think his commentary really added anything at all.
It didn't.
It just riled people up.
To yourself.
Yeah, like I don't think his commentary added anything, and like all it did was
piss
like
people off some more.
Yeah, make people mad, and people who want to be like, yeah, see, don't hold them responsible. We should like pray for them. People who want to take it out of context and make it fit in their own, make it fit the narrative that they want to make it fit. They can do that. But again, he's 21. He's literally 21 years old. Like, a lot of times when I look back on things that when I see celebrities do things and they like in their early 20s, I'm like, I would have said stupid shit when I read my old tweets all the time and I'd be like, yeah, I was wilding.
I mean, of course, yeah.
Like, that never comes up. Hell no. So it's like he's 21 years old. Hopefully he'll learn. Hopefully the reaction of people taught him everything he needed to know.
So you say you had political tweets when you was that age?
I had a lot of tweets when I was a lot of age, like either like political tweets or just tweets about life, things that I thought like this is the way it is. Tweets about women, tweets about relationships. I'm
about
sure
bitches.
I'm like I'm like, sure I had. I mean, if I was to look up and Google Obama or Google something, I'm sure I had some tweets about them that maybe I don't share the same thought now. And if I let that tweet out when I'm, 21 years old with 300,000 followers, it might go south. But again, like I said, he's young. He's 21 years old. Hopefully, he's learned. This also may be something that he hasn't experienced personally in his life.
Probably not.
So hopefully, again, he'll, learn from this, and somebody can educate him. Jamie, like we said in the chat, hopefully, Paul Mills, I can pull him aside and have a conversation with him.
Right. Luckily for me, I didn't have this shit when I was 21. This shit didn't exist when I was 21.
Go back and research your
So
shit.
Oh my god!
I was getting away with hella shit.
He don't have
the social media shit.
Michael Porter don't have nobody on the Nuggets to be like, yo, Jokic is not gonna pull over and be like,
That's what I was saying,
bro.
That's why
I get you, bro.
I think the thing was like
he's 21 with scoliosis.
Oh my god!
Millsap,
Hey, let's be nice.
He's
let's
like
be nice.
mid-30s,
Nice.
early 30s.
Yeah.
Let's be nice.
So,
What just
and
happened?
he's from the South.
Let's be nice.
So he's experienced a lot of shit. So he should be the one out of everyone on that team to grab Porter Jr. and be like, look, this is why you can't say this. Like, this is the history of what's been going on.
Right.
Like, you 4 or 5 years old when this shit was going on. Like, you don't know better. Like, let me put you on and tell you about shit.
Or just like, not now. I feel you.
Yeah.
Not now.
Right. I was waiting for you to say that.
Take
I feel you, but nah.
He gotta
save
You're
that.
not wrong, but not now.
Put in the draft.
He gotta do the.
And even looking at this picture, I got it on the screen right now. Ben Simmons tweeted this. This is a picture of him wearing an I Can't Breathe shirt. Years ago when the Aaron Gardner situation was going on. This is how I want my athletes to respond. Respond with passion and compassion and empathy. To me, Michael Porter Jr. missed out on an opportunity to really show that he was a person that really practiced empathy. Because if you
he did it quick too.
empathy, exactly. Because if you practice any kind of empathy, the first thing you do is you allow the people that are grieving during this loss, especially because it was something that pretty much had happened the day before, the opportunity to grieve and you be a part on their side. Right. Now, if he would have tweeted after Chauvin or whatever got
arrested,
arrested, or after he got found guilty, not guilty, like, it was a terrible situation. We need to pray for George Floyd and also pray for, then I understand. But don't, while his body is still in the morgue, yet to be seen by his family, or while we still waiting on his funeral to happen, tweet that we need to pray for the people that murdered him. To me, that
like he had that shit
logic.
in the draft.
It doesn't make sense. It just
there's a
doesn't
time,
make sense.
There's a time and place. There's a time and place for things to be said, but I hope, like, at the end of the day, like, yeah, what he said was stupid. Like, I'm not even gonna like the timing of it. But if he learns from it, it's like, you know what? As stupid as it was, okay, you listen, bro. Randy Orton, who's damn near 40, learned from the stupid shit he said 2 years ago, and now he's tweeting Black Lives Matter and putting petitions up.
2 years ago, I don't even know what he tweeted.
No, you know what it was?
I knew he was MAGA.
I knew he
was it All Lives Matter?
No, he used the N-word. He used the N-word Counter-Strike on a Counter-Strike stream, I think, or Call of Duty or something.
Like 10 months ago, literally.
Yeah, like a year. Yeah.
Hold on, wait a minute. The A or the R?
No, the R.
The A.
Oh, the A? Was it the A? All right.
Yeah, he dragged it. I'm not gonna put.
Y'all don't say
it. Yeah.
Because then
it's.
Go ahead.
Oh shit, they downtown.
Yeah, bro, they going crazy downtown. You know I'm down here. I can hear it all.
Oh shit, that is right.
Yeah, it's right there. I'm right there, bro. I can hear it all. It's crazy. It's going down in Los Angeles
I know in Brooklyn they were moving too. They got to, like, from Barclays Center to the Navy Yard, which is like a little farther down. So and the Barclays Center is, it's crazy. I can.
Yeah, they had all the college like, y'all know.
You know it's crazy. Like my girlfriend lives like maybe 10-15 minute drive from there. Like I drive by there all the time. So it's just like.
You out by the city and shit?
I mean, I'm in Staten Island, so I'm like where the Eric Garner thing happened, but I'm like 30 minutes away. I'm like maybe 20-30 minutes away from Barclays.
Yeah, I'm NY too, but I'm more like a Nassau County, like Long Island.
Oh yeah.
And everybody's. I'm not gonna be rude on here, but everybody pussy out there. I'm waiting to get the Target by my house. I'm waiting to get that Target.
Listen, man.
I need that
Long
Xbox.
Island. Long Island.
Relax.
Long Island is no. You know what? I don't. Long Island is. Long Island got some racist
It's
history,
bad.
bro.
It's
Bad. It's bad.
They got signs in front of their house, bro. I just be wanting to spray paint on. All right,
No, I was.
shut up.
It's funny. No. You know what's funny? I was
Don't be
listening
one
to a
of them idiots
podcast.
that incriminates yourself on the internet.
No, you don't.
Like Real Talk with
Get that.
TPJ is not a place for you to incriminate yourself. So if
This
you
is
got
a-
plans on doing something nefarious, common sense would say keep it to yourself right now and just do.
I'm a good man. I got children. I promise. I'm a good man.
Or put that on a tiny chat or something. Don't do.
Oh shit!
Actually, let's talk Doja Cat.
Yo, can I say something about
Go
Doja Cat
ahead.
before
Let's
we
talk
start?
Doja Cat.
You know how I know Doja Cat ain't really with it, fam. She said essential worker. She was using hard ERs in that whole Instagram. She said essential worker. She like when you say motherfucker, like you're not gonna say motherfucker. You say motherfucker, like mother. You know,
saying that shit hella proper.
hella ERs, bro.
Bro,
Using Cali out from New York.
bro,
I'm like, bro, with the finger point, she had
bro,
a
that
racist finger
Doja
point.
Cat piece.
Oh my god, bro.
I'm dumb. I'm smart, but I'm also kind of a dumbass. That
What'd she
is
say?
that whole little 30-second quote is some of the best footage the internet
Bro,
has ever garnered. As far as Doja Cat, it was stupid. She's 24.
It was
I mean, I
dumb.
don't know what type of issues she's been dealing with in her life. Like, I mean, I don't say what you get into her background. Her dad left. You know, she probably grew up, identify more with her white side. I don't know what the hell she was doing. I just know it was stupid. It was just stupid. It was stupid. It was stupid. She didn't harm anybody. She didn't hurt nobody, but it was very stupid of her to do that.
yo, the wildest thing to me though was that the tiny chat. Like when I read about it, I was thinking, oh, this is probably from like 3-4 years ago. They're
Likewise,
like, nah, she was-
bro.
Yo, I was
thought
Oh,
this
it's
was
like
old.
it's recently.
She did
I'm
that
like,
shit.
wait. I'm like, wait. I'm like, wait. I'm like, wait.
Yo.
So wait, hold
She
on.
was talking about coronavirus in the
I'm like-
tiny chat.
I'm like, wait. So you got like the number one single, and like they
Gee.
celebrating you for being
And
a
you
woman
on
with the
Tiny
number one
Chat?
single, and you on Tiny Chat popping your pussy for all right people?
Yeah,
Like, what are you doing? Like,
that's definitely gonna be a meme.
You know what's crazy?
Oh,
You know what's
make
crazy?
that a meme.
Her
What?
stands were on Twitter. Her stands were on Twitter saying that that's her trying to reach a bigger demographic.
What?
Fam, I don't know who she
Like
talking to about
caping,
that, but
caping crazy.
It's not gonna work, bro. It's just so ignorant. Like,
As quick as you can get into this game, you could get out within
As
like
quick as you
a
could get
snap
out.
of the finger. Literally. And I don't know if she's probably gonna continue to have her run, but I doubt she's gonna get a number one again.
it was just really
I
stupid.
personally heard one of her songs and I cut it off. I gotta. And no, and it's and don't get me wrong. I like her music. I think she's a very talented musician, but I think I can't love your music and love you if you don't love yourself. And I feel like I don't know. I don't know if she loves herself. And as a black man, especially with all the stuff that's going on right now, I need my people to love themselves and realize that we are worth it, and that
I remember
and that we're worth it. And I need the world to realize that we're worth it. Seriously.
I remember I think it was who was it that tweeted that he met her? Was it Wayno, I think? From Everyday Struggle. He tweeted that like I'm paraphrasing it, so like pardon me. But it was like that he shook like when they were introduced to each other, he shook her hand and he was like, yo, the way she looked at me was just mad. Like I could tell like now that I see all this stuff with the tiny chats and what the slurs she was using, everything, like I could see it now. Like she looked at me in a really weird way.
I'm gonna keep it G with you. I've never heard a full Doja Cat. I've never even heard her say so in full.
Not even the cow
You
song?
never heard that
No,
song?
I've never-
You never heard the song
Okay.
with Tiger? That
No.
front back.
No,
No.
I've heard like 2 or 3 songs.
I've never heard a full
I've
Doja
never-
Cat song in full.
I-
Literally, I have
Have
never
you-
heard a full Doja Cat song. in
I've
full.
overheard it, but I never.
I
been
think
like, yo,
she's
I'm gonna go to the
talented.
album.
I think she's a talented. I've heard pieces. I think she's a talented woman, but I've literally never heard all 3 minutes of any Doja Cat song. Never read in my life.
I seen people, they just say they be watching her videos on mute.
Oh man,
I
Yo.
barely even seen pictures of her. I only
Yo,
see pictures
that
of her when
is-
they come across
yo,
timeline.
that is hazardously horny, bro. Like, you know,
Y'all,
Hey, Nelson G, you came with some gems today, G.
Hazardous
That man
thing,
said
boy.
that's hazardous
Hazardous
thing
thing, boy.
like,
y'all
bro,
not
that's
know real
Love.
beaters.
Gee, y'all not know real beaters might have been one of the wildest things I've ever seen posted on the internet. Y'all not know real beaters, bro. What?
Y'all not know
Y'all
real
not know
beaters.
real beaters, bro. What?
And
Y'all
the
not know
glizzy
real
jokes,
beaters.
they be getting
bro,
Y'all
motherfuckers
not
out
no
here with the
real.
hot dog
Y'all
shit.
not no real
bro,
beaters. It's like, yo, what?
What? What's not the
yo,
real what, bro?
He
bro,
said I go through 2 terabytes in a week. Y'all not know.
yo, them that OnlyFans folder blew it. It's like, wait, what, bro? Like, bro, you ain't go outside. Like, you ain't look out the window. Nothing.
How
Bro,
do you
listen.
binge watch OnlyFans?
Oh my god.
Who said they was binge watching OnlyFans?
I was on season.
It's
I finished
crazy.
season 2. I'm about to go to season 3. Like, what?
Binge watch
Y'all
OnlyFans.
funny as
Bro, it is, bro. It's just so crazy how, like, just to, like, in all of this, how on Twitter we just talked about like police brutality,
Gee,
Doja Cat, and real beaters. Like,
gee,
Twitter
the jokes when they, the
has,
jokes with the lady in Target, the jokes
yo,
with the lady in Target, G.
Yeah.
fam. You know
What do
you
you
know
all
what
think
I
about that
thought,
situation? I
fam.
feel
You know
like a
what I
lot of people
thought.
felt that the people hitting her and pushing her and
You
shoving
trying
her
to
were
stab
wrong.
me? What the hell wrong with you?
Listen.
You trying to
She let
stab me?
a white woman go in and try to stab people, bro. You know what came in my head when I saw that. You remember in Street Fighter 2 when you lost and you was like bloodied up and God told you go home and be a family man. Like the little music in the back. That's what I thought when I seen that. Like nobody photoshopped. I should have done that, bro. I wish I had Photoshop skills for that, but that shit was nuts.
You that's funny as hell. That's
Nah, I don't.
hilarious.
Nah.
Like
Like
it's
nah, I don't
crazy,
have no.
bro.
Like nah, I don't have no issue with the way she tried to stab people,
She
bro.
tried to
Don't be
stab
trying to
somebody.
stab people, G. What you mean? You tried to stab me, G. You literally tried to cause bodily harm. I'm folding you.
Bro.
Man
That
said
shit was
I'm folding you.
I'm folding. Dude, that fire extinguisher at her like it was
See
a
the
devil.
fire extinguisher shit.
Fam,
Like,
I'm
bro.
like, fam, what is this? The Royal Rumble, bro?
See the fire. Nah, the funniest part was like afterwards when like the chair was like moving.
Protests are getting heated in LA, by the way.
And you see her leg falling out. Oh my god, I can only imagine, bro.
I'm sure. Yeah. Hopefully everybody stays safe though.
I'm finna be a father for the first time, so I can't go out and do that stuff.
Congratulations, bro.
I'm finna be a father, and I got stuff to like not go to jail for.
Yeah, I got stuff not
Yeah,
going down.
man.
So I'm
Like, don't
sorry.
get me wrong, it get worse than this, or they start shooting people. You definitely believe that I'm out there, cause then who knows what's happening after that? They like, you know what I mean? Like, I literally like they get to shooting people or going into some next level stuff. We living by some different world order and at a different point in time. But the one thing I will want to say is I don't like how I think a lot of rappers and entertainers have been cowards. And I think that the people that I least expected to hear from, I've been hearing from the most.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
but go ahead.
I feel like with some people though, like I feel like in a way it's like they want to say something, but they don't. They're walking on eggshells. Like it's like I don't want to say something that offends people too.
Yeah.
Like it's a weird.
But who cares?
Hold
Who
on,
are you
wait,
offending
hold on,
other
wait,
than
wait,
racist
hold on,
or a murderer?
Hold on.
I mean, true. Granted.
Look,
That's my only
then,
question.
hold on, but look, then I want to go back to the thing that's like Dr. Umar clip that's been floating around. I think too many times we as black people depend on celebrities and athletes to be the spokesperson for black people.
Right.
And
That's true.
And a lot of times they don't have the range to be able to speak on things, which is the issue of us not. There ain't no more Jesse Jacksons. There ain't no more Al Sharptons. There ain't no more. You know,
We got Sean Kings now.
Yeah, literally, who are our voices that we look to? Which is why I was consuming Dr. Umar content. I may not agree with everything the brother say, but at least the man seemed for like he want to see the greater good of black people. Like, who are our black voices? The fact that like LeBron James and look, love LeBron. Think LeBron's one of the greatest humans on planet Earth. But the fact that LeBron James and T.I. and Killer Mike, that these had to be our black leaders.
Yeah, but what's wrong with that?
I'm not saying anything is wrong with it. I'm just saying
there's nothing wrong with that. What's wrong with that?
I never said anything was wrong with it. I just said that why do
Our
we
former
always
leaders were former slaves.
Why do we always look to, or why is it always the case with us that the only leaders we have are athletes and entertainers? Where are our other leaders who that's what they do? They have dedicated their full lives to leading. Where are those people? We don't have any, which is the issue. Where are our Al Sharptons? Where are our Jesse Jackson? Do I agree with everything Jesse Jackson say? No. I agree with everything Al Sharpton say? No. but at least is a person who done dedicated his life, I think at least, to the embedment of African American people. Where are those people?
Yeah, I agree. And as you all, I'm sure you can hear the sirens and the police and the helicopter. You might be hearing it in the background. It's getting louder as the protest begins to rage on into the night. Obviously, it's 9:19 at night right now in Los Angeles. So who knows what's gonna go on? Wow, it's pretty.
It's
pretty
12:30 over
insane.
here in New York.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and actually, I just got a video of an Instagram video that I'm going to show you guys in 1 second. I'm going to pull it up right here on the screen share so that way everybody can see. Let's go ahead. I'm going to hit play real quick. Give me a second. And 1 second.
Where's this?
This is LA, downtown LA.
Oh, shit.
No.
Oh.
I think that's in Baltimore.
Whoa. Oh.
Is that
nah.
I was told that was in Baltimore. You sure that's LA? Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
it might be in Baltimore. It might be in Baltimore.
Yeah,
if it's in Baltimore still, whoa.
Yo, that's nuts. That's crazy. So there was a video, I think was it Atlanta or somewhere where
that
like
lady looks
somebody
like
was
my auntie. And that's no disrespect to my auntie, but that lady literally looks like my auntie. That's embarrassing. That's egregious. That's hurtful. That really is hurtful. Like
that's crazy.
That's the problem, and that's the root of the problem, because I understand she struck him, but let's be real. She's surrounded by police officers. What kind of damage is she gonna do to that man? That's uncalled for.
And he sucker punched her.
Yeah,
like, damn, you sucker punch an old lady? Like, just subdue her and that's it. Bro.
Yeah, I just don't understand what's going on, and the reason why I started this, and obviously we're doing shooting shots tonight. And thank you for congratulating me on fatherhood. We're doing Real Talk with TPJ because I didn't want to name the shooting shots, but I'm still seeing all of the riot coverage on in the background. And to be honest, it's still very, very disturbing. Nico's back. Nico, welcome back onto the program. You're here. You're live. We're here on Shooting Shots. Nico, are you here? Hello?
I think 6ix9ine hacked his Wi-Fi, bro.
Nico, I can't hear you.
He is in Nassau County.
All right. You know what, actually? A guy like 6ix9ine, troll of the century. Why is it that I can only hear from him when things are negative? But no, and this is the thing. Obviously, we've heard from no, this is the thing. This is the thing. We're going to hear from him regardless. But my thing is, he supposedly, when he was out as an artist before he turned snitch or whatever it was talking about how he wanted to help people out that were lesser than him, that were all of this, all of that, all of this. There's no way for you to atone for what it is that you did or whatever exactly in any way, because we got guys like Glass that said it's a no-go on that guy forever and period is what it is. But even with as big of a troll as he is, why is it that a person like he who has leveraged black culture, utilized black culture, exploited black culture and black people, gotten black people convicted and locked up and put in jail.
Right.
If you're going to troll about anything or you're going to speak about anything or you're going to be a coward about anything,
why don't you use that towards something better?
Why are you using your platform towards something better? Because before you were doing it, now you can only go at Ariana Grande. Like that's the reason why guys like him don't belong in this culture. And even though it's an interesting side so to see, it's something that is not of the culture and not for the culture. So therefore, we need to just let that man die out and never speak of that man's name ever again.
I'm not looking for 6ix9ine comments.
You know what?
And I'm literally the last thing.
It's not about you looking for 6ix9ine comments.
I hear what you're saying.
It's about he has participated in the destruction of black people.
I hear what you're saying.
So at the very fucking least you can do is, if you are part of the destruction of numerous black lives and actually generational black lives, because you snitched on them people when you was out here actively being a criminal. Why is it that you can't speak out on this situation, but you can speak out to troll for attention to drop records? I don't like that. That's that coward ass shit, and that's why we don't fuck with you.
You want to hear something?
6ix9ine.
No, it's not about me wanting to hear anything. It's not about me wanting to hear from him. It's about why haven't we? Because you use your platform for all the wrong shit and to harm us, but you can't use it for no good. That's my problem. Fuck him. Fuck out of here.
It's an unfortunate situation for everybody involved. And it's funny because I actually watched was a No Jumper of one of the guys he was cool with, who they were cool. He was one of the people who brought him to the attention of, the Bloods and whatever, and they decided to, make the machine behind them. And he said, like, that kid got manipulated, this, that, and the third, and that changed him forever. And that's why he is who he is. But the funny thing that that I guess he kept making a big deal about with this, they're buying streams. It's like, bro, people, like in the 90s when people were buying CDs, they were buying full warehouses of fucking CDs.
Yeah, they buy
bro, I'm like, okay, yeah, great. Like, you're telling us about something that happened that's been going on for forever. It's just digitized now. Like, okay.
It's still cheating, but that's not the point. The point is, my whole point is that if you're going to be a coward and you're going to ruin black lives, then at the moment when you can be a coward and you can continue to be a coward, that's the moment in which you should speak up and not be a coward. And that's the moment in which he had an opportunity to not do it. And this is the thing. I don't want to hear from him. But if I'm going to hear from him for all of the wrong reasons, use your platform for something better as well.
Of course.
Because if I'm going to hear from you regardless, and I'm going to have to see your name on my timeline, see it trending, see it on Twitter, see it on the front of Yahoo, see it everywhere, use your platform for something better as well. Because if you're going to be a fucking pest and a pessimist, then use it for something good if I'm going to have to continue to be pestered by you. Because that's what it is at this point.
Do not care, but I understand where you're coming from. Do not care though. Legit, do not give one iota of a damn about anything about 6ix9ine not saying or what 6ix9ine does. I understand what you're saying.
I don't either.
I understand what you're saying.
But I know what's gonna happen when these protests quiet down. It's gonna be some other bullshit that we gonna hear, and it's like, no, shut the fuck up. But either shut the fuck up forever. Either shut the fuck up forever.
What?
Go away.
What that man does has no bearing on how we should receive it. I think that he can do what he want to do.
Yeah,
he is not
influential though. He's influential though.
Hold on. He, again, like I said, nobody is obligated to do anything. You are not obligated to speak on anything. You are not obligated to do anything every day besides wake up. Same. He ain't obligated to do nothing. We also are not obligated to pay attention to it. Don't subscribe to it. He only influential because people pay attention to it. You stop paying attention to it, he ain't influential no more.
Yeah, and I'm not a personal person that subscribes to it, but also at this point in time, you can't escape it. When day after day, night after night, he's going at it or dealing with or having confrontation. No, you can't.
Yes, you can.
What, you gonna mute every popular artist that's in existence right now because he mentions their name and a blog article pops up? Check it
out. When 6ix9ine did that thing, the only reason I saw anything on that Instagram live that he did was because I went searching for it. My timeline's pretty. First of all, I don't follow any celebrities. I don't follow anybody who don't follow me. I don't follow a single celebrity on Instagram or Twitter.
Wow.
None of them. I don't follow a single celebrity on Instagram or Twitter.
That's
I don't follow nobody who don't follow me.
No Drake? No Drake?
No, I don't follow
Not
Drake.
even
I don't follow
Drake?
no, I don't follow. I don't even follow Drea.
Does
I don't even follow
Twitter?
Drea or Snow Allegra. I don't follow on Instagram or Twitter. You can say what you want to say about internet, but you control a lot of the things that you consume.
That is true.
For instance,
that is true.
For instance, Say So, number one record in the country. I've never heard the whole song. Literally, I've heard it. The most I know about Say So is that video when everybody was in the bay doing them dances and they put Say So over it. However long that video is how much I've heard of Say So. So it's like, no,
I don't even know what you're talking about.
So it's like, no, you can avoid certain things. What we have to do is not give our attention to the bullshit. Let that stay over there and okay, whatever, unless you want to seek granted, it is very entertaining. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's just entertaining as hell. Very entertaining. But at the same time, if you don't want that in your space, then don't give attention to the BS. Let that sit over there and let that do what it do and unplug from that.
That is true.
Yeah, it is. I mean, with the 6ix9ine shit, like he has. I seen the other. I think it was today or yesterday that he's saying that if any rapper puts up 100K for the Minnesota shit, that he put up 100K. But then he comes back after with the I'll box anybody on live or whatever right now, and just causes like just tries to stir shit up after already trying to like do something good, even if you know it's like a label's trying to make him do some shit. You know what I mean?
It's not him doing something good. It's him taking advantage of the attention to create more negativity, and that's not what I'm
Just like
talking about.
just
I
like what
want
you
to.
said.
If he's gonna speak and you gonna mention that, don't include the bullshit. It's like somebody being like, "Yo, Nico, yo, Nelson, yo, Pavy, I love you guys. You guys are amazing." But what the fuck is the but? You just said you love me. What's the but? What's the but? All the but is gonna do is just subvert your whole telling me you love me and add some other context to it that explains reasons as to why
Hey,
you love me, but you
hold
don't
on
really
real
care
quick.
for me as much as you think
Hold
you
on real
do
quick.
You gonna
because
remember-
of a
TPJ.
certain reason.
You're gonna remember the
TPJ,
context of
Fuck
everything.
that. Go
TPJ, can you put the Matt and S Elizabeth comment on the screen? Because I want to address this.
Which one? Way say y'all been spouting 70% truth, 30% white hate. My guy, I understand
I mean-
white folks oblivious. They need to wake up. I'm sorry. They need this stuff to wake up. Telling you white, come on, shook.
Community shook.
Community shit.
Oh, community.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Okay.
I don't think
That's how you say
we've
community
said-
on the internet now. COMM. That's
I
weak.
don't
I
think
guess,
we've
yeah,
said
Just spell
any-
community, G.
I don't think
I
we've
feel
said that is anything that is white hate. Number
It's
one.
not white hate.
Number one. Hold on. Just like Glasses said, I think the first thing black people need to do is stop depending on white people to solve their problems. Number one, because for one, I think in order to fully understand certain circumstances, not great. You can always sympathize with everything. You know what I'm saying? You can well, no, not sympathize. I think empathize. Is it either sympathize? Yeah,
Both.
empathize.
You can do both, to be honest.
Both. You can sympathize and you can empathize, but you would never understand what it feels like to be in this skin and do certain things. So I think the
Right.
first thing us as black people need to do is stop worrying about things outside the community and worry about ourselves. Worry about getting us on the same page. Everybody
Right.
want to get the white people on the same page. We ain't even on the same page. Half of us don't want to loot. Half of us telling
And-
people go in the house. The other half telling people go in the house. The other half want to run in Target. The other half don't want to do this. The other half want to do this. We ain't even on the same page, but we worried about what everybody else saying. So look, I don't think it's what I don't. And look, if it comes off as white hate to you, I'm sorry. I don't know why it would. I'm sorry. I don't know why it would. That's not the point. I don't even think.
I'm
I don't even-
gonna say this. If what we're saying comes off as white hate, you have the problem, not us.
That's on you.
I don't even think.
No. Shut up,
No.
Pavy. Everybody shut the fuck up. Let me fucking talk. Because I've
Yeah,
been letting
TPJ.
a lot of y'all get all y'all fucking takes off. So
Nah,
shut
do
the
your
fuck
thing.
up, let me talk. If you think what we doing is white hate, you're fucking crazy. Because if we really wanted to distribute white hate or police brutality or harm police officers or harm anyone that's doing anything involved in that, we will be out on the streets creating chaos. But instead, we're at home creating discourse amongst other people, allowing other people amongst other walks of life the opportunity, including yourself, to allow your opinion to be heard. So whether you're white, you're Arabic, you're Muslim, you're white, you're gay, you're straight, you're lesbian, you're trans, it doesn't matter. We are offering whoever the opportunity to be able to come on this platform and speak. We are not censoring anybody, including you all, except for the people that are in the comments with the bots, with the actual hate. We are not speaking on hate. You have not heard any of us say, I hate white people. You've not heard any of us say, I hate police. You have heard me say, I hate the system and the ideology behind policing, which I do. You've heard people say that they hate the murder and the police murder, which we all do. But get the fuck out of here with that bullshit, acting as if we're sitting up here spreading white hate. It's white protesters out there. It's white people looting. It's white people at Target. It was a white lady stabbing people in a wheelchair, which is what we was talking about a minute ago. It ain't just black people out there. It ain't just Hispanics out there. It is everybody. It is all Americans because it was an American that died. It was a black American, but he was an American nonetheless. So you sit up here talking that bullshit about white hate or whatever. It's white people out there protesting as well. Get the fuck out of here with that. That's bullshit.
Also-
that is bullshit. And I don't believe in that, and I don't subscribe to that. Period. Point blank
Also,
in a story. Go ahead.
it don't make sense because white people are the ones committing the crimes.
Yeah.
So like how is that white hate if it was a white person's knee on a black man's neck? This is not fair.
Exactly. This whole issue is about it's about a murder. Like, how are we spreading white hate by saying we want justice? Get
Listen,
the fuck out of here.
Also, I think
I'll
the
say
other thing
this.
that we
Excuse my
have
language,
to,
but get out of here.
also,
We
I
ain't
think the other
CNN.
thing
We
that
ain't
we-
got no goddamn censors.
I think
That's
the
your
other
visceral
thing-
reaction, bro. I respect
This is
it.
Real Talk with TPJ.
I think
We
the other-
give you some real talk here.
Nah, the TPJ rants be legendary. They be
Nah, they
legendary.
did too.
Thank you.
I think the other thing that we have to do is I think we're speaking on the police more so than white people. We're speaking on literally the police, and to synonymize white people with the police, I think is an issue in both ways.
It's
If you
ignorant.
think that we are
Ignorant.
if you think that we're spewing white hate because we have an issue with the police, I feel like that says something kind of weird, because I don't think we said anything about white people. I really think we've said most. Again, I don't know every single thing we said. We started 2 hours ago, but I think we've been talking more so about the police and not white people.
No,
so
we're talking about the police.
So if you think that we're spewing white hate because we're talking about the police, that's a little bit of an issue. That's a whole nother issue in itself. That it seems like I don't know what you're suggesting because I'm not you. You're not here to explain yourself. But it seems like you're suggesting white people are the you symbolize white people with power or with the
Privilege.
police and the police. So that's a whole nother even thing in itself, because I don't think that we mentioned really anything about white people, and we just said more. The only thing I know we said about white people was I said I wish more of us worked in policed our communities. I think
Wow.
I don't know if we said anything about white people, but that's
None of
my
us
take on
have
that.
said anything in regards to white people. What we've talked about is police. I've said numerous times on this show, that I know plenty of black cops. I have plenty of people that I know that are police officers and that operate in the police force and work in the police force. I've said that numerous times throughout this. And they're not white. Most of the police officers, I don't know any white cops. I'm going to be honest. I don't know any white cops.
Yeah, I don't know the white cops.
I don't
either.
know any white cops. I only know black cops. So when you hear me speak about cops and police officers, I only know black cops. The only ones I see murdering people day in and day out are white. But I didn't say all white cops are bad. I said policing as a whole has an issue. As an entire entity, their entire organization has an issue. That's not spreading white hate. I'm sorry, Nico. Am I tripping?
I mean, you definitely hit it. You definitely hit it on the head with that. I mean, the people comments right now is really trolling. I seen that when I first hop in here, but ever since I was little, I'm 100% Spanish, but I sadly I have the white complexion, and I've gotten ragged on that my whole life, and it's not like it sucks when
Are you a Logic
comes up
fan?
like this, because am I allowed to say hell no? Hell no. That's
I'm a
that too
Logic
many
fan.
napkins. Too many napkins music. I can't listen
Too
to it.
many napkins music.
Wow.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Wow.
Logic's
Wow.
right now.
I don't even
Now.
know what that means, bro. I don't even know
Right
what
n-
that's even
What does that mean?
supposed to mean.
Explain that.
bro.
What does that mean?
What does that even mean, bro?
That's the Eminem, the dude who impersonated
Oh,
Eminem.
yeah.
He's
Oh,
like,
yeah,
you
you
use
talking
way
about-
too
oh,
many
yeah.
napkins.
Just throwing
Logic,
mad syllables.
Doja Cat is Logic, but just
Wow.
Logic is a quiet version of Doja Cat. He just don't want nobody to find out.
So what you mean to tell me is Logic is Doja Cat without a Tiny Chat account?
Basically.
Yeah.
Alright,
But
No,
he's
no,
not.
with
I
a burner
disagree with
account.
that.
With a
With a
burner
burner-
account.
I think Logic is a top 5 rapper of this generation.
Alright, come on, man. Come
I
on,
He
think-
bro.
is. For
I
me,
think-
for me, it's Drake, Kendrick, Cole. I'm personally gonna say
Future.
I'm gonna say Future, and then I'm gonna say Logic.
Over Big Sean?
I'm gonna say Logic over Big Sean.
That's fair.
The 1800 song is bigger than any song Big Sean ever have.
No
And
Wiz
honest-
Khalifa?
I would say Wiz, but Wiz isn't regarded as one of the best rappers.
Oh.
Yo, for
Wiz regarded as one of the
somebody
best
for
artists.
y'all
He's
being for
one of
y'all
the best
growing up on
artists of
the
this generation, but one of the best rappers. I don't think he's regarded as one of the
Of
best
this
rappers
generation?
of this generation. One of the best rappers. I think he's one of the best
who
artists because he makes pop records as well. And I love
Wiz?
Wiz. Wiz is one of my favorite artists. I want to work with Wiz, literally. But
I think
I don't know if people consider Wiz one of the. I consider him. I would put Wiz. I would put my list would be Drake, Cole. I'm sorry. Drake, Kendrick, Cole, Future, Logic, Big Sean, and then I would probably. Then after that, I would put him there.
Where's Ross?
Ross,
Yeah,
I would put like
Ross.
Ross is up there.
like 8
Ross
or 9.
is up there.
I
Mm.
I would argue Snoop has been a bigger artist this generation than Ross has. Not
When you
even.
start the generation.
oh no. Oh no.
I
No,
start.
no, no,
I
no,
start
no.
this
I'm not gonna
generation.
give my Snoop takes.
I start
I'm
this
not gonna give my Snoop
generation. I start this generation as of 18 months before MMG Volume 1.
takes. Wow. MMG
So
All of
Volume
the
2 a
MMG
classic.
Volume 1.
So
one
Teflon
time.
Don and all that is like included in there?
Yeah.
Nah,
Yo,
I can't put
Teflon.
Snoop over.
Nah,
Huh?
no.
I can't put Snoop over
I
Ross.
like Ross's.
Snoop ain't had Sensual Seduction since then. He had
That
Young
was
That
Wild
was
and Free.
2007.
no. That
Young
was
Wild and
07.
Free.
That's before
Young
that.
Wild and Free.
When Wild
Okay.
Free, I think okay.
Okay.
2011.
What about BMF? What about Aston Martin Music? What
yeah,
about?
but Snoop had the shit with Katy Perry, California Girls. But that's what I said. Are we
Okay.
talking about artists or are we talking about rapper? That's what I'm saying. If we talking about
Well,
if we talking
rapping?
about rap, no. I mean being the bigger rap. I'm talking about rapper. Like rapper. When I mean rapper, I'm saying like like most of their shit is like rap. Like Wiz and Drake do pop, but I feel like Drake and Wiz both do enough rap where I can consider them to be rappers. But I'm also gonna take a little bit away from them. But the thing is, Drake is easily the biggest rapper in the world and arguably the biggest rapper ever, other than Eminem.
100%. But right now, all right, Eminem. I don't consider Eminem at all. Eminem is
Somebody
Logic
said
right
Joey
now. To me.
Badass is top 5. I got mad respect for Joey
Nah,
Badass.
Joey Badass
I sent
hasn't
him a
dropped-
beat. I sent him a beat, but no.
Nah, I'll fuck with
Joey
you. But
Badass hasn't dropped since the last election, so he's out there. Wiz,
Damn,
I
it
think.
has been. Oh shit!
Yo.
Oh
Last
shit!
election.
Yo, that's
I'm
crazy.
crying.
Damn, it's been that long.
Up there right
Yo.
now, I'm gonna kick Wiz out there because Wiz has been mad quiet lately, and I'm gonna say right now because I don't want to say the Griselda people because everybody talks about them when it comes to like rap,
Yo,
but
Benny can
right
rap his
now-
ass off.
right now,
Of this
Uzi
generation, no. Uzi is of the new generation, G. Uzi is post Chief Keef. It's pre Chief Keef and post Chief Keef. Uzi is post Chief Keef. He's not of the last generation, bro. Uzi is of the new generation.
okay, yeah. Of the last
Because
generation, I would
to
say
me, that
Tyler's
Keef
better than-
generation
I would
was
say
4
Tyler.
years after the generation I'm talking about.
Yo, Tyler can rap.
I'm putting Tyler over Big Sean.
I put Tyler with Big
If
Sean.
you're really going around
Y'all
that
wild as hell.
2011
No.
to 2014.
No, G. I'm not just. I love Tyler, but I'm not just turning on Tyler to party.
Gee, that
Big
never
Sean makes music
Huh?
for college football players.
Send me that link, Pavy.
Gee,
You know what's
Trying to run
crazy?
the
You know what's
Gucci
crazy?
store, man. Come on,
I
man.
literally listen to like
Come
What happened,
on,
Pavy? Do
man.
we have
Y'all
breaking
gotta-
news?
No, they just trying to run the Gucci store. It's not really breaking news.
Oh, okay.
That's why I got
Actually,
sick.
guess it
I
is.
got
breaking
sick when
news. Where are they trying to run into the Gucci store at?
probably the Lennox Mall.
Atlanta, Phillips Mall.
Yeah,
Phillips Mall.
breaking
Atlanta,
news, they're trying to run to the
no,
Gucci store
they
in Phillips
ran.
Mall.
No, they
Well,
they ran in the mall. They trying to run into the Gucci store.
Unfortunate.
They're
And the
wild.
National Guard is being deployed to Atlanta, I guess.
Minneapolis is very smoky right now.
Not good.
That's
That
what
shit
bro.
is. You seen the tweets? It was like somebody tried to run up on Jeff Bezos' house and it's like RoboCop and shit.
Really?
Oh my god.
You gotta be.
Nah, it's a joke.
No,
I was about to
that's,
say, you
that's
gotta
wild.
Look. If I'm Jeff
Bro,
Bezos, I
you-
got security guard lined up like police
Hold
officers
on,
in front
hold
of my
on.
house.
You know who are the real looters, bro? Jeff Bezos is the real looter of this. You know Jeff Bezos made like $40 billion more since this whole pandemic, bro.
Yeah,
All those
because all
dudes.
y'all
Gala
sitting
all
online
these
ordering
dudes.
from them.
Okay, this is my
Oh,
question.
y'all sitting
This is my
online
question.
ordering
This is
from
my
them. That's y'all
question.
fault.
This is my
Our
question.
fault.
Crazy.
This is my
It's
question.
our fault.
This is my question. This is my question to everybody.
He probably
out
made
there.
100 mil today.
Wait a minute. This is, of course he did. This is my question.
Yeah.
Is it Jeff Bezos' fault that in 1994 He started a company in his garage to sell books, and eventually his company evolved to be one of the biggest companies in human history.
Oh
Is it
no,
his
it ain't
fault?
his. Not ain't his fault.
So then, how you mad at him
Nah,
for
that
making
they
money from
Oh,
this?
I'm not mad. I just feel like he should pay some taxes, but that's a whole nother. That's a whole
they're
nother.
always
That's a whole nother conversation.
I mean, I think everybody should pay taxes. If I got to pay taxes,
But
they
they
should.
don't. They don't. Amazon don't pay taxes. GM don't pay taxes. Chevron don't pay. That's another
But also, you
discussion.
know why they don't pay taxes? Because they're
Well, of
Trump don't
course,
subsidized
pay
by the
taxes.
government. No, they're
of course,
subsidized by the government. Well, Amazon might not be because, but a lot of these companies are
there
subsidized
will
by
be
the
soon.
government. That's why when bailouts and things of that sort happen, that's exactly why those things happen, because those
Of
companies get
course,
money from the government. When they get money from the government, that money ain't free. They owe that back to the government. That's why they ain't paying no taxes, because the government like, yo, all that money y'all getting, y'all better pay y'all people. We better not have to
And
pay y'all no more goddamn money.
I'm not even gonna lie. I'm sick. I didn't get my Mark Calloway Undertaker MAGA check.
come on,
What?
bro.
It's been 2 weeks
What?
and I'm still looking at the website.
Yo,
That's
that's
crazy.
listen, man. Undertaker the rest is great. Mark Callow with that Blue Lives Matter, Don't Tread on Me shirt. I was like, oh my god, bro. You couldn't have worn like one of your old fucking costumes or something.
Yeah, man. But anyways,
Oh, whatever,
guys,
man.
I really appreciate all of you guys for getting together with me tonight to talk George Floyd, the protests that are being seen around the world that are going on in the
Facts.
United States that are affecting all of our communities. I just want to wish all of you all to stay very, very safe. Pavy, go ahead, start it off, get your plug in, talk to the people, let them know where they can find you at.
It's always, man, at Pavy World, Pavy World, all one word, Pavers.com. Go check that out.
Fire.
Alrighty. So, Nico, still Apex. Go ahead, get your plug in, talk to people, let them know where they can find you at.
First off, I just wanted to congratulate y'all for 200 episodes. That
Thank
shit is
you.
crazy.
Thank
It's
you.
hard to do. I got my own podcast, and it's already hard to do 10 episodes.
Thank you.
um,
Hard work and dedication, like Floyd Mayweather say. Thank
congrats
you.
on
You got that Nelly connection right now.
That
fatherhood, all that other
Thank you, Nico. I appreciate that. I'm very excited to be a
shit.
father. Very, very excited to be a father.
I just want Apex and for success.
All right, for sure.
Yeah, my phone might be dying, so I'm gonna head out. Thank you guys.
All right, cool. Nelson, go ahead. Talk to the
uh
people. Let them
um
know where they can find you at.
first off, before I start, piggybacking off Nico, congratulations to TPJ on becoming a father soon. You know,
Thank you.
healthy baby,
Thank you.
healthy
Thank you. I
everything, bro.
appreciate that.
Congratulations
I
to y'all on
appreciate it.
200
Thank you.
episodes.
Thank
I've
you.
been following y'all
Thank
since
you.
like 100. I think a little bit before your 100th episode. I've been
Thank
following
you.
the Hoops and
Shit,
Brews
thank
thing.
you.
Y'all
Appreciate it.
are
I
fucking
appreciate it.
hilarious.
Thank you. We appreciate it. Hopefully we don't get
Also,
stale. Are we stale at this point?
nah, man, y'all
Do y'all
motherfuckers are
get
fun.
bored listening
Nah,
to us?
I'm not listen because I work and I'm outside and I'm like on the move all the time. So sometimes I just need to hear like just funny shit. Hey, yo, y'all just be making me die laughing sometimes, bro.
Well, thank you. We glad we can
Because y'all,
bring you
thank
some
you, bro.
joy.
Thank you for your entertainment. But my Twitter is at original ORIGI_NEO. The same thing with my Twitch. My Twitch mostly like old games, so I'm doing like my Super Nintendo stuff. Super Nintendo games. I'm waiting on something to do Nintendo 64 games soon. And that's where you can follow me right now. I don't have that many followers because I had that Twitter with like 500 something, but I deleted and made a new one. So just follow me there. And I'm ready to talk about anything. So
Hey,
thank y'all
man.
for having me, though. I appreciate that.
Hey,
For real.
thank you. You actually, I will say this. I'm enjoying doing the Shooting Shot Show, aka Real Talk with TPJ, when it's more serious stuff, because it allows me the ability to be able to just hit up our random fans and just be like, hey, do you want to come on? Do you want to talk? It really
For real.
allows, I think, the ability for people like yourself to really be able to get your voice heard, because personally, I didn't know your opinions. I didn't know how well spoken you were, how you know what kind of opinions you had, what
Appreciate
kind
that.
of conversations you had. And honestly, I want to thank you for joining the first episode of Real Talk with TPJ. I felt as though you contributed a lot of insight, especially as someone being a New Yorker and being in New York. I
Right.
learned a lot from you, and I hope that our viewers learned a lot from tonight's episode. And
Likewise.
and thank you for coming through, and I really, really appreciate that.
Nah, man. Thank y'all for
Alrighty.
having me.
No problem. You have a
Appreciate
good
y'all.
night. Thank you very
All right,
much.
man. Y'all stay safe out there.
Alrighty.
All right, guys.
All right, Pavy. Thank you for coming through. I appreciate it. So fans, I just want to say, as one last note, obviously this show was to give our reaction to the George Floyd protests and what is happening around the country. Obviously, there's madness and there's mayhem happening around the country. A lot of us are hurt. A lot of us are scared. A lot of us are angry. A lot of us feel helpless. A lot of us feel hopeless. A lot of us feel as though our president doesn't have any empathy or sympathy. A lot of us miss our old president. A lot of us don't really know exactly what to do. A lot of us are looking for our favorite rappers, our favorite entertainers, our favorite personalities to say some. To say something. A lot of us are looking for our relatives to say something. A lot of us want to go outside and smash shit and break it to pieces. A lot of us want to just put things together and clean things up and build us all together. No matter who you are, no matter where you are around the world, one thing you don't deserve is to be murdered, let alone to be murdered by the people that claim and that, assert that they will serve and protect. And that's really what the crux of all of this is. That's really what the crux of every issue that we have in America as Black Americans and as minorities is, that we just want equality. We just want our children to be able to grow up in a better world than the world in which we grew up in. And me, as a person that is waited till I'm about to be 30 years old, and I will be 30 by the time my first child gets here. I've waited 30 years to have a child. And one of the main reasons I've always waited to have a child is because I didn't really want to have a child that was going to be raised in this world where they would have to deal with the reality of having to see a police officer and have their heart speed up and their heart rate race, and to see their people murdered by police officers, by the very people that are meant to serve and protect them. I know a lot of gang members. I grew up around gang members. I've never really been that scared of gang members. I've always got my head on a swivel around them, but I'm never scared of them because I know that ultimately they have the same power that I have to take my life, because the playing field is even. When you're dealing with a police officer, the playing field as a Black American is not even. It's extremely uneven. We're left to a point where we are felt to be helpless. We are felt to be helpless. There is nothing that can be done. We don't have money saved up in the bank. We don't have a savings account. We don't have money to call up our uncles or random people that we know in our family to help us out within the justice system. The vast majority of us don't. The vast majority of us don't have bail money. So please do yourself a favor. Do the American community a favor. Go find a charity. Donate to some bail money. I did it last night. These Americans need it. We all need it. As a Black American, as a Black man myself, as a future father, as a person that is developing and growing into a father, as a person that is sitting here in the middle of a pandemic, as a person that is sitting here feeling largely helpless because the only thing that I really feel as though that I can do to make a difference is to go out and do what other people are doing right now, and that's fuck shit up. But I know that that's not the way that things are going to be solved. And I know that that's not the way that I want my child to grow up in a world thinking that they have to use violence, or thinking that they have to burn things down, or thinking that they have to do these things, or being brought up in a system in which they have to do these things in order to be heard. I want change for my people. I want change for my son or my daughter. I want change for my future children. I want change for your future children. I want for whether your children or whether your child is Black, white, straight, gay, Muslim, Hispanic, Jewish, it doesn't matter, Mormon, whatever they are, Christian, it doesn't matter, non-denominational, Baptist, it doesn't matter what race, religion, creed, size, shape, color, form, whatever it is. I just want us to all be able to grow up in a world in which we can all be happy and enjoy each other and love each other. And it's unfortunate that this is what has been brought upon us as a people. And I don't judge any of the people out there that are looting, that are protesting. A lot of people are broke, they're starving, they're hungry. They don't have the opportunity or the means to be able to take care of themselves. I've been one of those people numerous times in my life. I've been one of those people on welfare, on food stamps, on unemployment, homeless with no money, mad at the system, upset. So I'm not going to judge those people and call those people thugs, call those people bad people. I'll say that those are people that are feeling despair and that are feeling hopeless. And what that really points to and what that really shows you all is that this political and this American system that we live in right now is broken, and it's one that needs to be fixed. The police system is one that's broken and needs to be fixed. The ideology of these police officers is not the right thing. I'm not going to sit up here and say all cops are evil. I'm not going to sit up here and say anyone deserves to die, because I don't believe that anyone deserves to die. But the ideology of these police officers has to change. The ideologies of the government has to change. Otherwise, we're going to continue to run on the hamster wheel that is America. I won't continue to rant and rave. Rest in peace to George Floyd. May you rest in power. Many, many respect and many, many shout out to Jamie Foxx. Many, many shout outs to Steven Jackson, who's on the front lines in Minnesota talking to the people. Many shouts out to Killer Mike for being one of those people to speak about peace and want peace for his community. And many respect and love to all of you all, because I know if I feel helpless, I can only imagine how you feel. And I happen to be a little bit older and a little bit more enlightened. And I've always been, and that's the reason why I am where I am today. And that's the reason why you look at me as being an opinion in which you can trust and which you go to for news and information and opinions in which you feel are valid, regardless of how large or small our audience is. I still appreciate you. And I hope that you continue to act as a responsible American and do what you feel in your heart is the right thing to do. And if you're watching us and you don't like black people, or you have a problem with black people, or you think that we aren't, that we're inferior beings, or that we don't deserve the same rights, or you're all lives matter, or this or that, blue lives matter, it's bigger than that. We are human beings. We are all human beings around the world. So this is not just about the United States. This should be about all human beings around the world that are currently under the thumb of bad policing. It all has to change. I want everybody to be free, everybody to have the civil liberties that they want and that they feel are due to them. And I'll end it on that, man. I really appreciate you all. Please do me a favor. I have a brand new service that I just started, which is called TPJ TV. Please go right now and check out tpjtv.com. I am helping the next generation of podcasters, of creators, create their own podcasts, their own shows, their own platforms to be able to talk to the world as I do, as Pavy does, and we have the opportunity to do because we have put in the work to be able to do it. Shout out to the NBA for announcing their plans to come back. Make sure you follow Pavy. Make sure you follow me as well. You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram at ReelTPJ. That's ReelTPJ. It's a film joke. If you don't get it, you damn dummy. I appreciate all of you all. Please be safe, be healthy, cover your face, wear protection, and if you go out to protest, please watch your back, be safe, and until next time, it's been TPJ with Real Talk with TPJ. I love you all. Be safe. Peace out.